And I think we're live.
All right.
I think that's how we do it, on only late like usual.
Just a pinch.
Well, we haven't talked
Just
for a while,
a
so we had to catch up offline a little and say all the things we can't say online. So, you know, there's this TOS thing that prevents us from saying on about 90% of what we've been saying for the last 30 minutes or so.
I think that's terrible, too, because what we were saying could change the world. But
honestly, it would have inspired people. They would have shed tears. They would have felt inspired. Yeah. Honestly, it would have defeated AI. AI actually would have felt bad and like not killed all humans. It would have been amazing.
Right. But it would have come to toe. It done what we tell it to do.
Yep.
But no.
Literally on our deathbeds one day, Gimpy, we're going to be telling the people what they missed out on. And on that day, they're going to be like, had we only heard. Had we only heard.
Had this.
Yeah, we could have had this. We could have had this, but nope, we fucked up. We fucked up by not having them push the stream button. All right, if you guys are wondering why AuxxZillary looks like he has leukemia, this is Gimpy God.
True.
AKA L-Dog. He's joining us today instead of AuxxZillary. So
it's true. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Aux will be here next week. He had some personal things he had to do for 2 weeks. He didn't quit the show or anything. Because I wouldn't let him anyways, even if he tried. I'd be like, what you talking about, Willis? Get out of here. Yeah, so Gimpy, he messaged me and he's like, hey, do you need a co-host? And I was like, not really. And he's like, I really want to be on the show. And I was like, I don't give a shit. And then he was like,
let me on.
And then he started texting my wife pictures of his wiener. And I was like, God damn it. And then I agreed. So he'd stop doing it because she was getting sick of her phone dinging all the time.
Well, and then having to like blow up and zoom in and zoom in and zoom in. So.
Offline, we were actually looking at pictures of David Hulet's most embarrassing moments in life. It was wonderful.
Oh.
You know what we should do? Great. We should crowdsource, like, you posted that on X, didn't you?
I didn't. No. Can you put these up, or you can?
No. What I was going to do is put them on social media and then put the links in chat so people can go look at them, because I want to see if people can. Well, actually, I probably rig something up. I bet you I can rig something up to like throw something up on the screen real quick. I just got to be careful because I don't want anything that's like under NDA on my computer or anything like showing up on stream, since I don't have a delay. Like we're like on ultra low latency mode. I usually have a VM. That's that. Wait, do I have my VM here? Let me see if I got my VM. Hyper-V Manager. Let me see if I got my sandbox. So a virtual machine is like a computer in a computer. So imagine you install Windows, and then you just install Windows again on a pretend computer that's not real, that your computer emulates. So it's like your computer is pretending to be a computer. It's weird. But what it does is it creates a sandbox so that whatever you do on the virtual computer doesn't affect the physical computer. So it's like having your own copy of Windows that you can just reset at the end and go back to any point and just have like a clean little sandbox to install viruses on. And if you ever download like questionable porn that you think has like a virus in it, you just let that shit loose on the VM and let it gobble and then shut it down if anything goes wrong.
So that's how you look at the deep web pictures.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it, man. Fire up the old Tor, you know. Oh, it's starting. I think I might actually have a virtual machine. If I do, shit, we'll be able to actually do something. Okay, it says I need to pick a size. I want 1920 by 1080. Come on, 1920 by 1080.
What we're going to do is we're just showing you what a young man who eventually turned out respectable and a really a beacon of success in his later life. What did he do to get there?
I know, right?
The origin story is what we're talking about, really. Like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Except this one would be a super happy guy.
Hey, why don't you tell everybody like who you are? Because I'm sure a lot of people in here like don't know who you are from like last time you were on here a bajillion years ago.
A Brazilian years ago.
Well, like, tell them who you are, what your story is, how you burned your house down for insurance fraud, all that stuff.
True. Please feel free to call me Gimpy G. That's what I go by online, or Gimpy God. In fact, my license plates are Gimpy G.
He is not a sensitive guy.
Not sensitive, so ask anything. Whatever. Let's see. I have done quite a bit of things throughout life. I've been a teacher of high school and college mathematics. I have done a lot of advocacy for disabled people. I worked with Google to create an AI mouse that can follow your head movement and turn winks and blinks into clicks and mouse.
Doesn't that just require like a webcam too? It doesn't require any specialized hardware?
Correct. It runs on your hardware too. So it's not taking place on the cloud. It's on just a little small bit of AI called MediaPipe is what it's utilizing, and it can run on your computer. I've had difficulty with it. The problem is if you're able-bodied, you're like, oh crap, it's working 70% of the time. So I'll just use my hand and do it the other part where it's not working. But when you rely strictly on it and it only works 70% of the time, then but I can make it better.
I was wondering, like, is that just as the camera input isn't that good? Like, or is it just the algorithm's just a little wonky donks?
I feel like any kind of difference in angle of your face will do it. Any shift in lighting. So let's say you have a room that the light changes as the day progresses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll throw a shadow on your face. I don't know. I tried to put these key lights on it, but that seems to be too much for it. So
like it's blowing out the image. So it's
right.
Not really working. You know what? I could probably help you with that. I think that's something that we could probably tune and get working properly. By the way, my VM does boot up, but it doesn't have any network access because it's for some reason configured for a local network, and I'd have to reset my network adapter to do it. So that's kind of I got screwed on that. Screw that. Oh well, we tried. We tried. We failed. Hey, what's up, Pele?
You can give them the link.
Yeah, we'll just give them the link. Did you post the image? Go post it on X. Go post it on X, and I'll share it with them.
Okay.
Because we got to show the people we found. Okay, so I'm not gonna say we. So Gimpy found a very embarrassing picture of David Hulet from, we think it might be from a show in like 1995, but now we're getting like conflicting data from AI. But he's basically dressed up as Cupid with makeup on, holding like Cupid's arrow, and he's flipping off the camera, and he's like in front of a painted scene of clouds. And so we need to like crowdsource you guys to see if you can't figure out if you guys can't figure out where the hell this image is from, because we can't figure it out. We don't know where it's actually from. Hey, networking guy, what's up, dude? He said, hey, Jerry, do you mind if I send you something on Signal? Dude, you can send me anything on Signal. Anytime you want, brother. He said, it's our charity stream. You can say hi on later if you like. Yeah, no, dude.
Oh, nice.
Done deal. Share it with me. I'll share it with them. I'm flattered that you think that I even have enough attention to drive any traffic to your thing.
Are you kidding?
So let's see here. The Trevor Project. Okay, so when is the stream? When are you guys doing it? I need to know the time and the date of the stream. Oh wait, are you guys? They're competing with my ass right now. I didn't know I was sharing a stream that's live while I'm live. What are you doing?
Live
what are you
doing,
live? Networking guy, man, I'm driving my few viewers I have over to this. Oh my god, what am I doing? I haven't shared it yet. Hold on.
Link this picture. We'll draw them all back. We want them to do well.
Go watch this charity stream in another tab while you watch this stream to help boost their stats and make them happy. Also, be nice in chat, please. All right, here we go.
No, go ahead. Be a-holes like usual.
Just go in there and just start raging, throwing shit around.
Oh, in the charity chat. You're right.
God damn it. What is going on with my keyboard here? Hello?
What's happening?
Hello, McFly. I'm trying to paste it, but it's saying I don't have enough characters, but then I try to backspace it so I have enough characters, and it's not posting it.
This makes no sense.
No, this doesn't make any sense. I forgot how to use computers, man. Computers are hard. Okay, let me try it. Here, I'll post it one more time. There we go. Okay. There you go. Done. Okay, so, he said 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Well, that's now, right? I mean, I just went to the stream, and it says it's live right now. So, here, I'll subscribe, too. There we go. I'll subscribe, and I'll leave it in a tab also. So, it's like, it's playing in a tab, Inception. While I'm streaming the Trevor Project charity. So, is this something that you're a part of, network guy, or is this just something you're passionate about?
Yeah.
Let's see, because I've heard of the Trevor Project. I wouldn't say I'm very familiar, but I definitely have heard of the Trevor Project.
Do you know?
What's that?
Do you know what it refers to?
I want to say it's like something about suicide prevention, isn't it?
Very good.
Am I in the ballpark? Let's see here. Yeah, focused on suicide prevention efforts for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning youth. They offer a toll-free number where confidential assistance is provided by trained counselors. By the way, this is more important than ever right now because that big orange dipshit sitting in our White House right now, that excrement pile of shit, literally canceled the suicide hotline for gay people. Not even kidding. Like
what the hell?
Yeah, there's literally like the hotline that people call for suicide had a special group of people that you could call the suicide hotline, and you could directly go to the people that deal with transgender youth, LGBTQ plus, everything like that. They just cut that whole thing off, and they're like, "Oh no, if you're gay, you got to go get your suicide prevention somewhere else. You can't use public services." It pisses me off so bad. Makes me so mad, man. Makes it so mad. Wait, what did he say? He said, "Look on the stream in on cam."
Post. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, I see you. I see. Oh, geez, you guys got all kinds of good guys on here. You got my favorite little garden gnome, old Mitch. You got old Mitch on there. Let's see how many other people.
I'm so glad somebody's doing this.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good cause. Good cause. I have no problem sharing. Hey, there's more than enough to go around. There's more than enough to go around.
No.
Just don't be giving them my money. That's my money. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. Please donate to charity. It's a good cause, and they honestly need it. Anthony Mangione said, "Screw that orange turd." I'm gonna approve that comment. That is a great comment.
True. Thumbs up.
Yeah. No. I saw the printed solid logo. Okay, so you're at least a part of the stream that I'm sharing. That's good. I would have shared it anyways, though. Let's see here. Can you also take the time to announce you are streaming on every social media app? I forgot. We're like sitting here.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I'm like sharing other people's streams, and I haven't even shared my own yet. That's how good I am at this whole streaming thing.
You are fantastic.
Here, live. We are live with Gimpy God on hashtag TikTok. There we go. All right, cool. And
please feel free to ask anything. I have no.
Yeah, you can ask him like why he's so lazy and sits in a chair all the time. Like they do to me. They tell me all the time, "They're lazy. Why don't you just get up and walk?" It's like, yeah, why don't you just get up and walk, Gimpy? Fuck, seriously, bro.
Before.
Like you,
let's see.
Like get up right now. Like why are you just sitting there like not doing anything? I don't get it.
And I'm saving up the energy for when I really got to kick ass.
Hey, that's a good that's a good answer actually. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna borrow that from you.
Cool.
Be like, why don't you get up off your ass? I'm gonna be like, well, I'm saving up my energy. Dude, did I misspell therapeutic in the title? God damn it. I do not know how to spell. I'm like hooked on phonics. Fuck me up.
Too. I am awful.
All right. Well, there we go. Okay, so I put, we are live with Gimpy God on TikTok. Can robotics make Gimpy less Gimp and more pie? Come on, I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that's great.
Self-deprecating humor is therapeutic as fuck. And that's what we're going to talk about today on TikTok.
At some point.
Yeah.
Or we'll just make an example of ourselves.
Yeah, we just wait for people to come in here. We just wait for people to come in here first, to shoot the shit for like an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours or whatever. And then we get to the topics in the last 5 minutes.
Right.
It's kind of like a thing that we've done for a long time. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Okay, where else am I supposed to put this? Facebook. By the way, guys, I'm not even joking. I only slept 1.5 hours.
Wow.
And not only that, but I've already skipped an entire day. I didn't go to sleep on Thursday. So I woke up on Wednesday, went all the way through Thursday, and didn't sleep until Friday. So I don't remember how many hours I was up. It was somewhere in the ballpark of 38 or 40 hours before I finally went to sleep. And then I only slept for about 5 hours. And then here I am today with another hour and a half of sleep. I am literally just driving on amphetamines and coffee right now.
See, I thought you were going to say, when you said, I don't remember the hours, I thought you were going to say, I don't remember my name. I don't remember my child.
I'm like, I have a son. Oh, actually, I'm gonna say something. This is pretty funny. So Gimp, you probably wouldn't know what this is like, not having kids and all, because you are the child in your family. But my kid, he is growing like a weed. Dude, he looks me straight in the eye now. It kind of scares me. I'm like, damn, he's getting big. Pretty soon he's gonna look at me and know he can take me. But I still got that whole psychological advantage over him for the moment. But I swear I've been so tired before, and I'm not even gonna say, like, this happens somewhat frequently, like maybe once a month, where I wake up and I am so damn tired, and I see him bolt out of his bedroom and run down the hallway to go take a piss, and I freak the fuck out because I forgot I had a kid. I seriously, like, my brain gets in this weird, like, sometimes you wake up and you don't know where you're at. Like, it takes a second for your brain to adjust. You don't know where you are. You're like in your house, you don't even recognize it. I don't know if that happens to other people, but it happens to me. And so it happens to me at least once a month where I wake up and I'll be like kind of disoriented and looking around. And then I see this kid run down the hallway, and I think that like somebody broke into the house for a second, because I'm like, I don't remember having a kid. And then it pops into my head and I'm like, oh, wait a second, that's my son. Hey, what's up? And then I'm like, hey, what's up, kiddo? And then he comes in, hey, Dad, you awake? But it's so funny. Does that happen to anybody else, or is that just strictly me thing? Because I'm curious. This happens at least like I'd say once a month is fair. like where I just wake, and it's only when I'm super tired. If I wake up naturally and it's fine, it's only when I'm like abruptly woken up after not getting enough sleep and I'm just super exhausted. And I just feel disoriented. I don't know where I'm at for a second. It's kind of similar to like when you have the dream where you win the lottery or something, and then you put all the money like in a real place that exists in real life, and then you wake up and you go look at the place and there's nothing there, and then you're like, oh shit, you remember it was a dream. Oh, it's like that, but in reverse. So now I don't even remember.
Do you get jealous when you hear his pee stream? It's like Niagara, like boosh.
I do.
Man, I used to pee like that.
I remember when I used to work at Microsoft, I remember going to the bathroom and I'd stand at the stall and I'd piss for like 20, 30 seconds at a time and like race the other guys in the other urinals and be like, I'll piss all you.
Right, see? And you had to hook your toes under the toilet seat and like get jet rocketed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I always laugh when you get the little guy next to you. It's like comes out in spurts. It's like, because his prostate's the size of like 3 plums.
Right.
Yeah, no, now I know what that's like. After hitting 46 years old and having a slightly enlarged prostate myself, I finally hit that point where it's like the pee stream is only about a quarter what it used to be.
Yep.
And I literally have to piss like 47 times a day.
And your kid goes in there, boom, and then he doesn't have to go again for like 8 hours.
Yeah. It's like he pisses for like 3 minutes straight, and then it's like and then he drinks like 2 gallons of water, and he doesn't need to piss again.
Oh, those kids.
Oh, and the shits that come out of these kids, my God.
They surpass you.
I don't know how. I don't know how. I got to tell this story. I'm going to tell a story about my nephew. I'm not going to say his name though, because I don't want to embarrass him. But my nephew, this would have been 14 years ago. So Xander's just about a year old, and we're having a party for everybody to come over and see Xander now that he's kind of like coming out of the woods a little bit with his, he can be around people. He's got all his vaccinations finally.
Gotcha.
So we finally have people over to see Xander, and one of the nephews comes over, and I think he was about 7 years old at the time, 7 or 8 years old. Now he's now he's like 18 or whatever. So he's this young little kid, and he goes in the bathroom, and he comes out, and he goes, hey, do you guys have a plunger? The toilet got clogged or whatever. And I was like, oh no, I'll take care of it. And I go in the bathroom to unclog the toilet, and I was like, seriously smacked in the face with what I saw. And I'm not even joking. The turd was the size of a soup can, not an 8 ounce, like a 12 ounce soup can.
Oh my!
Came out of this little 7-year-old boy. I was like, how did you house this? Like, how did this physically fit inside of your body? And it was long too. And so I had to break it up with the plunger into 3 or 4 pieces before I fleshed it. But before I did, I really quick closed the door, ran out, and got my wife and was like, hey, come here. Because I needed a witness. Nobody would have believed me. So I took my wife in there, and she verified the turd. And she was like, oh my God. She's like, who did that? And I was like, yeah, it was your nephew. She's like, no. I was like, yeah.
No.
I was like, oh my God. And still to this day, all these years later, we still talk about the largest shit we've ever seen.
We've ever seen?
Did
you ever see the South Park about dropping big shits? And they were like, how many Keurigs was that?
Katie Keurigs?
Yeah. So that was like a 3 Keurig out of a 7-year-old.
That was at least a 3 Keurig. For sure.
Wow.
A solid 3 Keurig. Yeah, it was
Did
just
he turn inside out, or
this is the weird thing. He came out perfectly calm, and he's like, I clogged the toilet. You guys got a plunger or something? Can you unclog the toilet? I'm like, yeah, no, I'll take care of it. He was perfectly fine. Like, he wasn't like huffing. He wasn't like sweating profusely. He didn't have like blood going down his leg of his pants onto the floor.
I was thinking, did you have to tie a tourniquet around his anus?
That's what I thought.
Something like that.
I literally thought we'd have to call 911. Like, when I saw that, I was like, how the hell? The only thing I can think of is within the time that he was in there taking the poo and the time that he left, that turd somehow absorbed like a half a gallon of water.
Maybe
because I don't know how.
Dinosaur sponges, and then so.
I don't understand to this day. And then to verify it, like later on in life, and this is why I remember this story, is Xander clogs the toilet, and I go in there, and he's not 3 Keurigs, but he's a solid 2.5. Like he's right on that other kid's like record. And I'm like, how in the hell are these little kids passing? Thing. Yeah, all I can think of is like he's so skinny that they can like dislocate their hips or something like that, like past that thing.
Wow, everybody, thank you so much for these donations.
Oh yeah, I should
coming.
I should probably be reading this. Hold on here. Let me first I should probably put this on Discord. Last place. Can you guys tell I'm very easily distracted? I very easily get distracted by things.
I didn't notice.
All right, let me pull up Let me pull up the activity feed on. Let's see. How do I normally do that? Oh, ground control. Ground control to Major Tom.
Major Tom.
Major Tom. Light the rockets. Blah blah blah. I don't know the lyrics. Joe Taji. Oh wait, is that no? This isn't the right one. Here, give me the right damn thing. Here.
You know what? I can kill a little more time. Lately, I've been doing talks to Canadian scientists and South Korea, like science communicators, because I really think we need that, because stupid seems to be the new, oh, my opinion's just as good as yours.
Yeah, alternative facts.
Flat Earth. Yeah, there's no alternative facts. So I'm really into getting science communicators out there to thwart that. So and I got paid. Woo! So that was the Korean one. But then I've been doing them with David as well, and they did an article on it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, David, you have a show that you do with David Hulet, don't you?
We do, called Damn Dirty Abes. Abes being people that can walk, and I blame all of the world's problems on people.
Oh, is Abe's able? Is that able body? Is that like short for able body?
Yep.
Do I count as an Abe even though my back hurts? I can hardly get up the stairs.
You know what, dude? You're on my side. We're one. You are officially a cripple now. I'm sorry.
The rule is if you can't make it to your own mailbox, you're a cripple. I think that's fair.
If you're like 50-50 to shit your pants before you make the toilet upstairs, there you go.
If you piss the bed as a grown man at least twice a month, you're a Gimp. You're a Gimp. And I qualify because I do.
It's true.
Why do I piss the bed so much? I got to figure that out, man. I got to figure out why I pee that. I get in this weird deep sleep where I cannot wake up. And it's funny. I literally have a dream of pissing and then I wake up pissing. Isn't that weird? Well, like you dream about it. Like I'm in the dream and I got to piss and I find a bathroom and I find a urinal. I'm pissing in the urinal and then I wake up like pissing in the bed.
That is weird. I dream about making sweet love to beautiful women. I wake up, I'm just sitting there.
Yeah,
so I wish I could. Yeah,
that does happen to me too. It does happen to me too. But I'm lucky enough to have a woman beside me that I can.
True.
I can be like, hey, get on over here, lady. And it is true what they say about women. Like libido goes up with age, 100%. Like
I've heard that.
You eventually hit an equilibrium. I feel like she's shot past me now. Like I feel like I'm the lame one that's got a headache all the time now. But yeah, no, she is down anytime, anywhere, any place. Like if you even hint in that direction, she's like, let's go. And I'm like, but my back hurts. Yeah, like I said, now I'm the one with the headache. Oh my God. Here, let me thank some of these people.
Okay.
NPAR, thank you for the $1 tip. He said, did you catch the Trump impeachment was nullified by the help of that's an old one. Here, let me refresh. Yeah, I did see that, but I'm glad he did it anyways. Like we knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, but hey, it was good that he tried. Okay, why is the activity feed only showing stuff from 4 days ago? This is ridiculous. I'm going to open up Stream Elements' main webpage and see what the deal is here. Man, I'm starting to think Stream Elements isn't the great thing it used to be. Like, I used to love this thing, and it's like, it's just not working very well. Oh, there we go. Okay, the webpage works. For some reason, their ground control app doesn't work, but the webpage
couldn't possibly be user error. You are the guy that worked at Microsoft, so.
That's true. I used to.
It's got to be Stream Elements.
100%. Hey, Joe Taji, there we go. Thank you for the $20 super chat, you wonderful bastard, you. He said, hey, bud, thanks for the great stream. Get some good rest. Lovers your face. Oh, we lovers your face, too. Ant Malt, thank you for the 271 super chat. He said, I see another JFK situation in the future. Oh, my God. Wow. Okay. All right.
I think he's saying something about me.
My God. You know what I just noticed, though? I think YouTube is broken right now on Stream Elements because that is also a 7-day-old alert. What the hell's going on here?
Son of a bitch.
So why can I not see any activity feed anywhere? Do I got to... Can I... Oh, I found a place where I can see them, though. I'll just go in the YouTube panel. It'll do it. Okay, here we go. Here's the real ones. Here's the ones that aren't from a week ago. DeWolf's Den, yo. Thank you for the $5.20. He said, love the guest star. What's up, G?
Thank you.
He said, love y'all. Should be a fun stream. First dono. That is the first dono. That was the first dono.
Yay.
There's a couple new ones now. We appreciate you. Pele, always bringing in the sexes. 500 sexes to be precise. SEKs. He said, hey, Jerry, nice to see your buddy, too. I'm sure he's been on your podcast before. He has. But it's been a while, I think. Hope you're both having a fantastic summer. You know, I mean, I think we're having this. The way I see it is, I try to be a little bit of an optimist in that as long as I'm alive and breathing, I'm pretty okay. Like, I feel like lowered expectations, but yeah, it's like as long as I wake up and I'm not in so much pain that I'm just crying until I'm unconscious, I'm pretty grateful. I'm pretty grateful. Everything else could be falling apart, and I try to at least set my bar right there. That's like, it's okay as long as I wake up, I'm breathing, and I got my family. If I got those three things, I'm good. How about you? What
Me, I am like massively terminally interested in everything. So even though I hate what's going on in the government, I'm so glad to be alive to see it.
100%,
like at some
100%.
point, this is going to be history, and people are going to look back and go, "What the fuck was wrong with you people?" Right? I mean, there's going to be like a studies, and this will be called the Great Nothing or something like that. The new Dark Ages.
This will be like every generation, like every 100 years, there's like a major thing in the history books that asserts itself. And I feel like we're in that right now. Like, I thought we were in that like back with like 9/11, right? Like, I thought that was the 100-year thing. And it's like, no. That was just the primer. That was just getting started. Like,
Right.
where we're at right now is we're literally witnessing, and I can back it with the receipts too. I have receipts for days. This is an alternative fact bullshit. Is if you go back and you study your history, the exact thing that happened in Germany in 1933, that then happened in Russia in 2000. In 2000, in Russia it happened, and now it's happening here in the United States in 2025. The exact same thing. It keeps repeating itself. The thing that happened in Germany, you had a democracy where people had freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. They had a constitution. They had their version of a Supreme Court. They had their version of a house or a parliament, right? They had their judiciary body that was like elected by the people for the people.
They were pretty liberal.
Yeah.
They did a lot of trans study back then, and didn't mind trans people.
No.
Until Hitler took over.
Yep. So that's Germany pre-1933.
Correct.
And then here comes Hitler, pretends to be a Christian, gets the religious right on his side, and then completely takes so much power from the people under the guise that I'm using this power to attack your enemies that they give him the power, and then he turns around and attacks everybody, including them. Okay, fast forward.
Even the people that, like, how do I say this? The people that united with him, like, I think socialists and things united with him to try to push those people out. And now if you think about it, we got rhinos, Republicans in name only.
Which, by the way, the Nazis had that too. The DAP, they said that you can't be in the DAP unless you were loyal to Hitler over the party. Same thing happened with GOP.
Doing.
Yep, same thing. So it's a copy.
You have to sign a paper when you go to work for the federal government now that says that you believe in.
The 2020 election was stolen.
Yeah.
You have to say that. And what was the other one? It's like the 2020 election was stolen. You have to like say one of the things. Oh yeah, like you voted for Trump or something. Otherwise, they won't even consider you. Like, you just go to the bottom of the pile or in the garbage. It's very weird. It's very like dystopian times here in the U.S.
Totally normal. According to people.
But what's really scary is a lot of people don't know that Germany adopted our democracy, like literally down to like amendments of the Constitution, everything. Constitutional Republic. They adopted that shit. I think it was 1919? I'll have to go back and double check my dates.
Probably real close after World War I.
It was right after World War I.
Right.
Yeah, right after World War I, they're like, okay, we're gonna become a democracy like the United States, being the shining example or whatever at the time. So they're like, okay, we have our constitution, let the people elect their people. Boom. Even have parties, just like we do. They had their version of the Liberal Party, their version of the Conservative Party. They even had their middle party, just like we do. Now, Hitler takes over. And every single thing Hitler did to take over, guess who else copied him in 2000? Vladimir Putin. And now look at what you have. You have a fake democracy. And by the way, everybody thinks that Germany just went to like this authoritarian thing where it's like they didn't recognize democracy anymore. No, they faked democracy. They had fake elections.
Right.
They pretended that people were voting people in and then punished anybody that tried to vote that voted against them or threw their votes away entirely. It was completely fake elections just to try to keep the people thinking that there was some modicum of democracy. And everybody thought, oh, well, people must want Hitler there even though he's hurting 90% of the population. They'd just be like, oh, well, obviously, if he's there, then everybody else likes him and I'm the problem. But it's like cult mentality. Everybody hates him, but they all think the other person likes him, but they're too afraid to talk about it. So now you fast forward, Putin does the exact same thing. Putin comes into power after the president steps down, and then he wins his election. He comes into power, but then everybody joins the or all the Russians, 70% of the Russian population becomes Russian Orthodox religion. That's what they identify with.
Well,
so Putin's an atheist. So is Hitler. Hitler was an atheist. What do? Same exact thing. All of a sudden now I'm religious, I'm Orthodox. With Hitler, it was like I'm Christian. And he basically bribed and threatened the churches to support him and back him and say that God picked him to like save the country. Putin did the same thing. The Orthodox Church came forward and was like, Putin's going to save everybody, even though he's an atheist like 10 minutes ago, right? And now what do you got with Donald Trump? Same exact thing. Dude comes in. He takes over the same thing, takes over the conservative party in the area, the Christian conservative party, which is the majority there. And this happens in other countries where it's not Christianity, like Islam. If Islam is the top religion in the country, then that's what the authoritarian targets to pull it away from democracy. Right. But it's the same formula, just repeating over and over again. You go back in history, you study this shit. It's like, why didn't they teach us this in school? If we had been taught this in school, we would have seen it coming from a mile away, and this never would have happened.
I mean,
it still really technically could have happened, sure, because there's people that want bad things, right? You're always going to have some people that want bad things. But
I don't know if you saw this, but there was a study after World War II. They wanted to find out, were Germans genetically different? What the hell happened, right?
Yeah.
How did they become these monsters? And they hired like these big psychological studies, and all of them came back and wouldn't give a report. And then now these things would become open, and the report was, no, they were just normal. About 35% of humans are very authoritarian and susceptible to propaganda and authority.
You know what my theory is?
Go ahead.
So my theory, and I think this is backed by a lot of science too. My theory, and because I've experienced this personally myself, I was a Christian for 20 years. Why was I Christian for 20 years?
That's
because
amazing.
I was indoctrinated as a child.
Right.
Like when you're a child and your parents control your first years of life, who you interact with, what you see, what you hear. It's like you are 100% dependent on them for everything. And so when they start talking about religion and this big almighty thing in the sky, this invisible sky wizard that can like kill you and hurt your family if you don't do right by him. Right. And they teach you that, when you go to church, these people that wear the clergy stuff or whatever, you're supposed to respect them and listen to everything they say because they're God's chosen. Right. So you become indoctrinated in that mentality. And then what happens is you eventually hit a point where you start accumulating like actual experience and education that counters that. But the problem is it's instinct. It's ingrained as instinct when you learn it that young. Just like you don't have to think about your language. You don't have to think about, is God going to smite me? Because it's so deeply ingrained in you. And what happens is you get to a point where you hit an impasse in life. And this is why it's always indoctrinated from a young age and never as an adult. Because as an adult, most people would reject it. They'd be like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I've done all the science. Nothing makes sense. There's too many contradictions. Like, I tested it. It doesn't work. But the reason it works is because they run into the contradiction after they've already been indoctrinated. Therefore, they just apply the word faith and move on. And the problem is with you just saying, if anything can't be explained, then it's just faith. You just got to have faith that it's true. People can take advantage of that because they can grab the same book that you were programmed with. It's like your programming manual, right? If I know you're Christian, I can pull out the Holy Bible, New International is probably pretty close, pop through there, figure out a couple things and be like, I know exactly what to say to prey on those old memories and that old indoctrination and to get you into a place where I can get you to start believing what I want you to believe and do what I want you to do. And a big segment of the population is highly susceptible to that kind of manipulation because they were indoctrinated. I was the same way. I believed until like a very traumatic thing happened to me around when I was 20 years old. I was like hardcore believer. Like I really did believe that like God saw me everywhere. And if I did anything bad, he was going to smite me. Like I really was like legitimately. And this is the funny thing is all Christians claim they love God, but in reality it's fear. They teach you to say that love is fear because your love is not conditional. You don't get to choose if you love God or not. You have to love God because if you don't, your ass goes straight to hell. So it's fear that motivates that. Which is how I like
to start relationships.
100%.
I go, hey, girl, I've got your dog held hostage, and I will hurt you if you do not love me. So, yeah, that's how it goes.
And you know how I know a lot about Christianity? Because you got a Trump voter in here right now saying I don't know shit about Christianity. And that tells me immediately that I know a lot about Christianity. It's like, seriously, it's that fucking simple. By the way, that guy, that's just another alt account. He's been here with like a million different accounts before.
Oh, it's great. Okay.
So
He was lying about if that's how we're going to talk now. This is how it goes every week.
Nah, I just punt. I punt it. If there's anybody in chat you don't like, let me know. We'll just fucking flick them out of here. Like
I am so easygoing. I want to find out what the fuck they're thinking. Like we had somebody say to David, "You're a muppet, and I hope you have fun with your cripple." And I was like, "What? I'm not David's cripple. He's my muppet." So
to be fair, if I put you guys side by side, 100% of the time, David's going to win in the cripple competition. Let's be fair. I feel like,
yeah.
I feel like on your worst day, you could outact David at his best.
That guy has been skating by on good looks and sex appeal.
He is such a goddamn poser, man. He is such a goddamn poser. Everybody on Stargate carries his ass. He likes to take the credit. Oh, I'm the guy from Stargate. Man, every other actor on that show literally is tired because they had to carry his ass through that entire season.
Well, and what they did is they just let him wander around the set and film him, and then somehow, put that into the show and make it work.
I hope he's watching the stream right now. That'd be so funny. It's like we're basically goading him into coming in here. Oh,
did you show that picture we found of him so that everybody has the compromise? Yeah. Speaking of Putin, and he was KGB, he uses compromise on people. That's compromised information, like, Trump peeing on girls, that kind of stuff. And now we've got some on David Hulet.
We do.
Who apparently needed food money back in 1995.
I feel like David would be less embarrassed if this was actually like a picture of him peeing on somebody in Russia. Like this is pretty pretty embarrassing stuff. Here, let's go ahead here. I'll post it right now. Okay, hold on here. We're upload. We got to get this. All right, so hopefully David doesn't kill me for doing this. Let me find where is the picture.
No, he'll be fine. He loves this stuff.
All right. Let's see here. This is the picture we're talking about on Tech Talk right now, showing a very young D. Hulet.
Man, that guy was good looking.
Trying to earn his rent by dressing up like Cuban and flipping off the camera. We don't judge here at Tech Talk, but damn.
But damn.
First person to figure out where this came from I'll retweet whoever here. I'll retweet whoever finds what this picture came from.
Right. We need that. We need this info, chat. Check it out.
Actually, here, I have to get rid of a little piece of it here. Okay, so I'll retweet whoever finds what this picture is from. There we go. All right. And I tag David, so hopefully he sees it too. But I know he's not on X a lot. He's kind of like pulled away from X a lot.
Yeah.
And I am so proud of him for doing that. Honestly, it's a fucking cesspool, man. It's an absolute cesspool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you guys a link.
Hey, whatevs.
It is what it is. The only reason I stay on X right now is, and it's actually been working really good, is people are like, oh, you're never going to reach anybody. No, I reach tons of people.
See?
I get DMs from so many mega people, even people I banned. I get emails from people that I banned asking me to unban them and apologizing, saying that, oh my God, you were right about this.
See?
And the whole reason they got banned was because, oh, you're an overreacting piece of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then it happens. And then it affects them. And then they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you fucking did that. Now, granted, that's not all mega. The vast majority of mega, they just changed whatever. They just align with whatever he does. Like, seriously, it's like one day he can be pro this, and then the next day just say he's negative, and everybody else just moves with him like a wave. That's what cults do. But there are a lot of people out there that truly did believe, even if they had bad intentions, they believed he was going to do the thing that helped them at other people's expense. So they liked that, right? That's what they wanted. And then he didn't do it. He lied to them. And those people are pissed off. A lot of those people are pissed off, and a lot of them can't say anything publicly out of fear of reprisal because, sadly, the MAGA movement, being a cult, is taught to self-police and attack each other. Anybody that says if you are a 99% for Trump and you have 1% of a niggle with him, you're done. You're done. You're not MAGA. You can't be. You're a rhino. Like you've been liberal this whole time. You're the most liberal person ever. You could be a judge that rules in his favor 99 times. One time you go against him because the law doesn't allow him to rule in your favor. And he's like, oh, he's a liberal judge. Total rhino this whole time. Like, we need to get him kicked out.
Now we'll call him a communist, liberal, Muslim loving, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like when I saw him, like Tucker Carlson, Like attacking Tucker
guy's
Carlson,
yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. These are like the people that licked your nuts for years, dude. And one thing they
Right.
disagree on, Elon Musk literally buys you an election with $300 million, and he just wants you to change one thing in your big, beautiful bill, and you just straight up attack him? Like, my God, dude, the guy is like 100% loyalty or zero. There's nothing
You know who
in
he
between.
is? He's King Joffrey, bro. Have you ever
He
seen?
is. He is 100%.
He's
100%.
Joffrey.
I agree. Oh, wait. We have traction. We already have traction. 3
Traction.
seconds of searching. We have another picture of him at a different angle. Okay, let me give you the link.
Oh my God.
Do you see it? Do you see it yet? Here, let me put it in chat. Do you got chat up?
I got chat.
Okay, so the MacMan, I just posted a link with MacMan 2034 and I click on it. We have another image. It's actually 5 images.
Oh my
this is
God.
definitely from some. Okay, it's a costume. Where the Heart Is. It's a movie called Where the Heart Is. We got it.
Oh my God.
It's at the very first comment on the images. He's got a hot ass. Dude, we got a picture of his buns. We got animated pictures of his buns, dude. You,
Oh my God.
MacMan.
You, sir, are a god.
MacMan, you're a god. MacMan gets the retweet.
Wow.
Holy crap. Holy cow, that was fast.
Wow.
Thank you, MacMan.
So he's got 5 images?
And they're animated. They're all animations. Dude, you got to open it. You got to
my
open it, dude.
God.
And one of them is him.
Holy-
His ass is just hanging out. Look at the Hulet. Look at that bubble ass on him.
You could bounce a quarter off that ass.
Yep.
My God. David Hewlett. See, this is back when he was, totally doing the sex appeal.
Yeah, he was.
What the fuck is this? I love this guy. I really do love David.
I'm going to retweet him just like I promised. Said, holy cow, that was fast. Thank you, MacMan. David Healy has a hot little booty on him.
Notice it's from Tumblr. Well, I wonder why that's on Tumblr.
Yeah, right? Right? Tumblr is where you go for the bad stuff. You know what? I actually got
What?
banned off Tumblr. That's a fun story.
What the hell do you do that?
I don't know how you get banned on the site that's literally just nothing but contraband. Like, how do you get banned on the platform that literally exists for everybody that gets banned off every other platform? The only thing I can think of is because I was writing scripts to automate it. That was basically like crawling through a bunch of things and pulling stuff. And I think that maybe, I don't know if they have a no bots policy or something, but that's kind of bullshit because it's a chat app. Like, who cares if there's fucking bots? Right? I wasn't messaging anybody. I was just crawling feeds. So
maybe it was the picture of you upside down in your hot tub yanking it.
It's possible, but I thought that was welcome on there. Like, it even said
That's
right at the top,
yeah,
please
that's what I
post
thought.
pictures of you masturbating in your hot tub. And I did. So I don't know what to
Upside
do.
down. Yeah.
Oh, Jim the Evo's in here. What's up, dude?
James.
We
That's
love
the guy who burned down my house.
we love our James. We really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did burn down your house. He still owes you for that too, by the way. Just because you got some money online by, committing insurance fraud doesn't mean
Right.
he doesn't owe you money.
He says he's repaying me by not burning it down again, which I don't think is cool, but whatever.
By the way,
He's a good
Gimpy
guy.
has the worst fucking luck, dude. Like we're not joking. His house literally burned down. He almost died. If his
While I was
nephew
sleeping.
didn't come back for him and wheel him out of the house, he would be charbroiled right now.
True.
So,
At least mesquite smoked.
dude, that's a bad way to go, man. That is a bad way to go.
You
Pele
can
said,
still see it.
"Oh yeah, oh really? So like even after they rebuilt, is there still like a smell too? I can't imagine that the smell goes
We
away."
got all that. I mean, online because I was
Oh.
streaming at the time.
I have a
So
question. How
it's-
the hell do you get this? Like anything I've ever set on fire just smells like burning forever. Like how do you get rid of the smell of something like that? Like did they literally have to come in and just like deconstruct the whole house and basically rebuild it?
The roof was gone. Most of the interior walls.
Oh, by
were
the way, it
gone,
even got his
so-
van. So it didn't just burn his house down. It also burned down
Yes.
the van that's like set up to transport him. It's not like you can just throw Gimp in
Right.
anything. He's got to ride in style.
True.
And his van got burned down. But you got a replacement van now, right?
We did. Yeah.
So you got the house
I did some
back?
work for Google.
Yeah, you got the
that.
house, got the van. Dude, Google came in clutch, man.
Yes.
Like I don't
Very
want to
much so.
like don't say the dollar amount or anything, but it sounds like they actually made a pretty big dent in the shit that you were dealing with, like financially from that.
Well, I could buy the van. We'll just say vans. You can't touch a van for under 40 grand.
Yeah.
So with the wheelchair accessibility, and I got the one that like kneels down like a cholo vehicle, so the side of it goes pee.
Oh,
and
so
comes
the
down.
ramp's like not as
Yes.
high, so you can get in easy.
Yep. You don't have to, move up and down on the lift. You can just, the whole van kneels down and lets you out like you're royalty, which is what I like.
Dude, vehicles are so expensive now. Like even used ones. Like I was looking at like used Honda Odyssey, like $35,000 for like a used Honda Odyssey. I'm like, what the fuck? Front wheel drive, not even all wheel drive. I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
And then you have to, you'd have to do the conversion on it, which I'm sure companies charge the medical rate, like 5 times any other fabrication, just because it's like, it has to be like medically approved or whatever. And so do you have like the system where you drive in, it like locks you into the floor so that you can like easily get in and out?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Those things are cool. I've seen those also for like people that are just paraplegic, where they drive in and they literally go up the ramp and then into the driver's seat, and it locks their chair into the driver's seat and it becomes the driver's seat. And then they can actually drive the vehicle with the hand controls and everything, and then they just disengage the lug at the bottom and then just drive right out.
And just pop right out.
I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That would be really cool.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Okay, the van Blue Book value without the extras is like $13,000.
That's not bad. You got a good deal. You got a good deal before like the auto market popped off.
Right, but then it was 45 with everything I had to do.
40. Okay, so the van was only what, 13? You said? How much?
Yeah, Blue Book value was like, well, you could. What is it? It's a.
So you're saying it was like 30 grand in mods to like a $10,000 vehicle, so that it could transport you.
And then you have to pay the insurance on the full value. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my God. Yeah, because you have to pay the replacement value.
Right. Cripple tax.
Oh my God, dude. That is
insane, people.
And is the new van better or worse than what you had before it burned down?
Almost exactly the same. When we bought that one, it was about 10 years old, and I had it for a couple of years. And then house burned down. The van wasn't even in the garage. It was near the garage. And it was so hot. My car lit on fire, my nephew's car, and my sister's car lit on fire. Just from the heat.
Oh, no,
so, anyway.
It's wild. It's wild how, what do they call it? Radiant heat can just spontaneously combust shit. Like, that's how fire will cross a road. Like, if you ever see, like, a forest fire where there's a road and it jumps across, it's either burning embers or it's the radiant heat from the fire is burning so freaking hot that you'll just see the trees on the other side just burst into flames. It's like, that's wild.
Yeah. It's not it wasn't an electrical van, but the vans have a lot of electrical because it doesn't have hydraulics. It has, big batteries to do the lifting and stuff. So when that shit caught fire, it was quite amazing. It was bright, intense heat.
Hey, you said it was a Cholo wagon, man. No hydraulics, man. Come on.
Well, it does go up and down with the what is it called, pistons or
or what do they call linear actuators or whatever they are when they're electric.
Like that. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey Graham, what's up? Got my buddy Graham in the chat. He's becoming a Gimp like the rest of us. He's about joining the Gimp crew. He's been having some serious medical shit go down with him lately. Like he almost died like twice. So just in like the last couple of months. So I'm glad he's with us.
Was he actually the kid in the story that did a 3-Keurig poop, or is
No. He's not the 3-Keurig poop kid. No. That kid is super healthy.
Okay.
Graham is like us. He's severely damaged and compromised. Genetics finally caught up with him.
Damn genetics.
No, actually, he's had a really, all jokes aside, he's had a really bad run. Like he was a really healthy dude for like a long time, and just shit kind of went sideways. And when shit goes sideways, it just keeps going sideways.
It's hard to get it back on track.
It really is. And he's had some really bad scares because of hospitals like not believing him and thinking that, that shit's not like real serious shit ain't happening with him. And then they're like, oh fuck, they do a little research for 5 seconds and they're like, oh my God, no, you almost died. Like, bro.
Wow.
And so he's doing better. He told me he's doing better now. I gotta talk to him again offline. But man, what a rough run, man. I don't wish that on anybody. I'm thankful because I live with chronic pain every day and I have a hard time getting around and I gain weight really easy because I just can't. It's really hard to keep weight off when you can't exercise. Like I even lift. I have 2 dumbbells that I lift like this, but it's like my upper body can never burn the calories that my lower body could when I could just walk and move. You know.
Right.
And it sucks. It really sucks because like I used to be a really active person. Like I snowboarded. I drove rally cars. I used to do mountain biking. I did all this crazy shit.
I saw you sword fight on a video.
Yeah, I did a long time ago. Most people haven't seen that video. I'm actually surprised you saw that video. But yeah, I actually did fucking like full on martial arts, like swinging bamboo swords against like a black belt at it. You know, what was it called? Like not kendo. It was some martial art that probably nobody knows the name of.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And he beat the shit out of me, and I was bruised like severely the next day.
He tried to beat the shit out of you. I didn't want to say that, but
yep. Graham and I climbed a mountain. You know, we went and climbed like was it like 2,500 foot elevation or something from a lake way up on top of this cliff in one day, and then all the way back. That really fucked me up though. Like honestly, that was probably one of the last things I physically did where it broke me so bad that I didn't come back from it. But it was going to happen anyways. It was one of those things where doctors already said it was a degrading situation. It was always going to happen. So, but I went out with a bang. We literally climbed a mountain. I think I was 380 pounds with the pack on me, and yeah, we climbed up that sumbitch, and it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Man, I've never hurt more in my life the next day though. Oh my God.
I have a very similar story. Well, I've never been able to move, but when I was like 30, I decided, screw this virginity thing. I'm going to Las Vegas and getting laid.
Hell yeah.
And spoilers, end of the story, the person that was there with me dropped me and broke my arm, getting me out of the tub. And so I'm laying there naked, steaming from the water and heat, like a toad ran over on the road. And I'm like, I think I'll be okay. And then I was like, okay, I know my arms broke when the fire people came in. And they go, well, let us decide that.
You're like horny. You're in it to win it. You're like, screw it.
Yeah,
I don't care if my neck's broken. Let's go.
And they're like, is this bend in your arm between your elbow and shoulder normal? And I'm like, no, hence my belief that it's broken. So yeah, it was really just a tip for you. Make sure the caregiver you take with you isn't a meth head, which I didn't know. Like I get all the way to Vegas. My parents are like, you don't want to go. You want to go with us? And I'm like, no, I'm going to do, go to strip clubs and stuff. But, and then this person, when we get to the room, it's a big gal, so she could pick me up and stuff. And as soon as we get to our room, she pulls a thing out of her bra and then like lays out a line, chops it up, asks them I want some. And I'm like, I've never even seen anything like that, right? So I'm like, oh, no, I'm full from breakfast. And so, I don't know. It was just so weird, dude.
Apparently, it's like an unwritten rule in Vegas that like all the strippers in the strip clubs like do coke or something like that. That's what all the drug dealers on the strip would tell us, that they try to sell us coke. And I'm like, I don't do that. And he'd be like, oh, no, you can give it to the strippers. It's like, I'm like, can't I just give them money? Like, why would I want to hand them shit? The DEA is going to come. Oh, they don't care about it here in Vegas. I don't know. The cops, they could just.
Whatever.
I was like, no. I will say, though, the cops in Vegas were pretty chill when I went there. Like, there was literally like a naked dude, like drinking and sitting on the front of the cop car, and they were just playing on their phones and laughing. And I was waiting for him. I was like, because I come from Seattle. It's like, if they did that in Seattle, like the cops get out and like tase the dude and double tap him in the chest. But in Vegas, they were like, nah, that's just a normal day, right? Dude's butt cheeks are like all over his front of his squad car, and they didn't care. Admit,
they did take finding a Gimpy guy crushed on the floor really well. It's not like the first time they saw it, probably.
No, if it's in Vegas, they've seen it at least 80 other times. You're like, this is a unique situation, and the lady was like, nah, this happens all the time. Nah, it's fine. I drop people all the time. That's why we have the coke. That's what the coke's for.
Yeah, exactly.
And to cure the pain. Did you at least get some action before they drug you out of there?
God, no. It was like,
I demand a do-over. I demand a do-over. We need to do a GoFundMe to get Gimp back for round 2.
I did go to every strip club in Vegas the days before that. So that was pretty fun.
Okay, I can tell you, if you ever go back to Vegas, I can tell you the strip club to go to, but I'm going to predicate it with a warning because I am banned for life from it.
No way.
Not even joking. Not even joking. That's a fun story I've told before. There's a little strip club off the strip in the most dangerous part of like Las Vegas. Like literally do not go there alone. Like you go with an entourage, you don't go at all, and make sure that you have somebody drive you there. Don't use any public transportation to get there. It's called Little Darlings. It is a mob owned and operated, like full on old school mob owned and operated strip club. And shit can go sideways like really, really fast. But if you want a strip club that is just like fuck the rules, old school Vegas, that's the one to go to.
Dude,
but
did it have a tunnel that went under the strip and came back up in a different casino so the mob guys could get away?
No. This is so far from the casinos. Like you have to drive like 10 minutes off the strip to get this place. It's like literally like in the middle of an industrial area. So I got banned for life, and I'll tell you how. Because I asked my friend for $20. Now, you might be thinking, why would you get banned for life from a strip club for asking for $20? Well, I didn't know this at the time because, again, I don't go to Las Vegas a lot, and I definitely don't go to strip clubs a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I went with my bros to the strip club, and I was like, I didn't have any money. I was like, I want a private dance, so I want my $20 or whatever. And I didn't have $20, so I asked my friend, can I have $20? She said it was $20. I'm like, I have $20. Apparently, you're not supposed to ask for money because that's what undercover cops do to record on their wire that money is being transacted. So like that's how they record it. So immediately, I didn't know what I did. I just asked for $20. All of a sudden, I got 3 bouncers around me and my friends. They said, come with us. We stood up. We were like scared shitless. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. These guys looked bad. They took us out back. We thought they were going to shoot us. And they went out back and they took our pictures on their phone, and they said, you are banned for life. Don't ever come back here. And we didn't know at the time what happened. We had to ask a guy later on. We're like, what the fuck happened, dude? And he's like, what did you do? It's like, all I did was ask my friend for some money. He's like, whoa, you can't do that. He's like, if you want money, just tap him on the shoulder. Just go like this.
Okay.
Don't speak it out loud. I'm like, I've never heard of that. Who the hell knows that?
I think I figured out your problem. You were in a strip club. You were in a brothel, bro. That's probably the problem. Yeah.
I might have been. I might have dodged a bullet on that one. I might have dodged a big bullet on that one. But I'd never been more scared in my life. Like we left that place and then we're like out in the parking lot, and luckily my friend had a car and the car was still there. Like we were really thinking it was going to be like up on blocks. But we were driving back and we were like, what the hell happened? We could not figure it out because I didn't just get banned. I got banned. The guy I asked for money from and the guy that was with us all got banned. The other guy didn't even do anything. He was just sitting there enjoying himself. And we all got banned, and we were only in the place for like maybe 20 minutes before we got banned. I'm like, how in the hell can asking for money, like that seems like a really common thing to me. Like if you're in a club with your friends and you're out of money, you'd probably ask to borrow some money from your buddy, right? Like why would that be a weird thing? But apparently like old school Vegas, there's different rules and shit that you got to know before you go into those places. But this is also a place this is a place that's really well known too for the scam where they go find drunk people in the casinos and then say, hey, come party with us. And a bunch of people get in a limo and they drive them out there and they just dump them. And then they have no way of getting back because they have an unwritten rule, like no Ubers, nobody's allowed to go out there and pick anybody up from that place unless they're authorized. They won't even let them on the premises. So basically you get stuck there and you have no way to get back. And then they basically stick you for like $200 to drive you back to the strip.
Dude, that's like modern day Shanghai.
It's a massive scam. Yeah. So I got hit by one of those scams once in New York. No. I went to New York for World Maker Fair, and again, I'm not a very well-traveled person. Like I did most of my traveling as a YouTuber, right? And I go to New York, and it's one of the only times I go by myself. I usually always bring somebody with me. This is like one of the rare times I'm by myself where I fly in. And I fly into JFK, and I go out front, and I'm looking for a cab. So I stand in the little cab line or whatever, and a guy comes over and grabs me. He's like, okay, yeah, come with me. He grabs my luggage, and I follow, and I'm like, okay, this is a cab guy, right? I'm not thinking nothing of it.
Yeah, no biggie.
He loads me into his nondescript, like Honda Civic looking like beat up car or whatever. I'm like, this is a little beat up. And I'm noticing like there's no meter, there's nothing in it. I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is a little weird. But whatever, it's when in Rome, it's New York, whatever. So I get in, he's like, okay, where are you going, JFK? And so he drives me to the hotel, and the drive is only like, I want to say like 11 or 15 minutes to get to Queens. And so I get to my hotel, and he parks, and he goes, okay, that'll be $119. And I was like, okay, wait a second. Hold on. The Uber here is supposed to be like $15. Like, and that's premium primetime hours, like worst pricing.
Yeah.
The taxi is like $20, and you want $119? So I looked at him and I was like, no. I was like texting my friend on the way there too, because I knew something was wrong. The way the dude was acting, it was like everything was off. Yeah, so I started texting my friend. And I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, make sure you don't pay him. Don't get out of the cab. You tell him that you're going to call the cops. So that's what I did. When he stuck me the $119, I said, no. I said, dude, a ride here is like $40 for a tax. Or no, I said, it was $20 for taxi, $15 for an Uber. I said, I'll give you $20. He's like, no, it's $119. No. He's like, okay, well, you can get out. I'll keep your luggage. I was like, I'm not getting out of your car. And he's like, all right, well, you're not getting your luggage until you pay or whatever. He's like, I take cards. You don't even need cash. Cause I told him I didn't have the cash. He's like, oh no, I take cards. Yeah. You can do cards. So I said, so all I did was I just did what my friend recommended. And I dialed 911 right on the spot. And, nice. and it started ringing. Nice. And immediately he freaked out when I did that. And so he's like, no, hang up. I was like, all right, you can get my shit out? He said, yeah. So I sat in the back of his car. I made him get out and go pull all my luggage out of his trunk. Made sure it was all accounted for and that I could see it all on the sidewalk. And then when it was on the sidewalk, I opened the door and I got out and then he drove off. And I took a picture of his license plate and I reported it. So to the police, I was like, this guy is running a scam where he's like grifting people. You know what the police told me when they called me back?
Oh,
they're like, oh yeah, that's, that happens. Like, next time make sure that, it's an authorized person. They have the right sticker on their windshield. It's like, I'm like, so you're not going to do anything about it? Like, that it's the guy's private vehicle. It's not like this is a stolen vehicle. This dude's just doing his vehicle and it's illegal what he's doing. They won't do anything about it. They just completely fucking ignore it and turn it. And that's why so many of them do it. So if you ever go to New York, and apparently this is like a New York thing. This doesn't happen in a lot of other areas. But if you go to New York, make damn sure that when you get into a taxi or an Uber, it's an actual taxi. Well, actually, Uber isn't. I don't even think is allowed to go to JFK. I think it has to be taxis, and that's why they do this praying thing. But if you ever have to actually travel into the parking lot to get in a car, don't do it. Only get in vehicles that come right up to the curb that have the sticker where the attendant is, like where the attendant's standing there at the cabbie line. Even if there's a line, just wait. Don't, because people, they'll go through the line and they look for people like me. They look for people that look like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're tourists. And they're like, yeah, come on. This is how it all works in New York. Yeah, come on. Oh, yeah, I got my taxi right over here. Come on. It's like, that's not a taxi. But I didn't think, I was like, oh, whatever. Dude's just driving his car. I honestly thought it was going to be a cheaper ride. I thought I was getting a deal. I was like, oh, I'm driving in this shitty ass car with like no waters in the back.
Gotcha.
It's like all dented up and rust all over the place and a crack in the windshield. I was like, man, I'm going to get like, oh, this is going to be like a $5 ride. Dude's like $119. And it's so funny, like, to get me to pay, he has his little phone with his little swipe thing on the bottom, and he keeps like putting it in my face. Nope, just swipe your card. Just swipe your card. I even thought about it at one point. I was like, I'm just gonna swipe my card and then call the credit card company and cancel it.
Get the hell out. Oh, good call.
Yeah, I was just gonna give him the money, then call the credit card company, say that he was a scammer, and get him to reverse the charge. But then I was like, nah, I'm gonna stand my ground and make this fucker like get everything out of the trunk. And so I ended up still paying him. I think it was like I caved. I like ended up paying him like $30 or $40. It was still way too nice. Because I just wanted it to be over with. It was one of those things where it was just so stressful.
Right.
It was so stressful. I just wanted out of the situation, so I negotiated him down to $40. And in reality, what I should have done is made him just get the luggage out on the curb, just open the door, get out. And then if he's like, "Hey, you're robbing me," I would have been like, 911, get lost. You're breaking the law, dude. Do you want the cops to show up and settle this? That's fine. As soon as I said that, he changed his tune 100%. Like, he was being like a total bully. He was like saying he was going to keep my luggage. And he's like, oh, I probably got some expensive stuff in that luggage. I'll just keep that. You can just get out right here. And I was like, I'm not getting out of your car. Because my friend even told me on the phone, he's like, do not get out of the car. If you step out of that car, he's going to slam the door and drive off. 100%. So,
with your shit.
With my shit. Oh. So he said, make sure you do. It's like he's been through it before. My friend is Zachariah. A friend of mine, Jason, he messaged me. He's been in a bunch of my videos, like the one where I do the forge. He's the guy that we do the forge and we melt down all the aluminum stuff. So he was the one I was talking to, and he told me, do not get out of the vehicle. He said, just tell the guy that you're going to call the police, and he'll change his tune. And sure enough, he did. Like, as soon as I said I was calling the police, and I started doing 911 on the phone, and it actually did dial too. Like, I actually typed. You know what? I didn't know this. If you dial 911, you don't have to push call. It just does it automatically. Have you seen that?
No.
So
I think so.
Yeah, so I didn't know this. Like, at the time, I thought you could do 911 and then just wait and hit call. No, you type 911 and like within a couple of seconds, if there's 911 on the screen, it just calls it.
That's so nice. Like if you're in somebody's trunk, you just have to hit the 911.
Yeah, I think it's so like if you like keel over or you die or something, they can still locate you, right? Like if you didn't hit the button. Graham said, exactly, Cherry. I may need to start up a GoFundMe to help me get on my feet again. Dude, you do whatever you have to do, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
Whatever you have, there is no shame in asking for help, dude. And the truth is, the only reason that I'm alive right now is because I'm burning through my 401k at like breakneck speed. And I'm eventually gonna hit a point where I can't have my house, I can't have my car anymore. I'm gonna have to start fire selling everything just to stay alive. And I'm scared as shit. Like that and the thing that scares me the most about that is seeing what's happening in the United States parallel to me going down that road. Like by the time I get to the point where I need the support that I paid into all these years, it's all going to be gone. It's all going to be gone. There's going to be no Social Security. There's going to be no Medicaid. All the stuff that I paid for my entire life to have waiting there is going to be gone when I need it. And homelessness is going to go through the fucking roof. It always does. It always does when a democracy transitions. It doesn't matter if it's Russia. It doesn't matter if it's Germany. It doesn't matter if it's Hungary. Anytime an authoritarian gets into power and starts taking away all of the rights and all of the services of the citizens, shit just goes downhill fast. It basically, what they try to do is they wipe out the middle class. They only want oligarchs and they only want poor laborers. That's it. You don't want that. That middle class is dangerous. They don't want it.
Right. They're educated. They might put up a fight. That's amazing. Don't you think it's more of a cruelty-based system now?
It is.
Why shut off the gay suicide hotline? Why get rid of Medicaid?
Did you know that entire service in 5 years consumed less money? So to fund that entire service 100% for 5 years was cheaper than 1 day of golf at Trump's resort.
For ass face? Yeah.
And Trump has golfed. Just to be clear, he hasn't been in office 7 months, and he's already golfed over 100 days. Think about that for a second. Like 1 out of 4 days he's been in office, he's been at his golf course at his resort where he charges us. Like he pockets $1 million. It's close to $3 million per trip, but $1 million of that is fees to his resort that he collects as the owner of the resort. That's why he only golfs at his resort.
A couple months ago, he was already up to like $33 million.
Yeah,
he's got to be scraping close to 100.
His first presidency in 4 years, he pocketed $190 million from the government paid to his resort over 4 years for him, just him and his like entourage. Wow. So check this out. Now he comes back for the second term. Do you know what he did right after he won the election? He doubled his membership from $500,000 to $1 million. So all the Mar-a-Lago people had to pay double to keep their membership. And that also includes every Secret Service agent, all of his people that like prepare his food and do everything, his entire entourage, even if they don't even stay at the resort, even if they stay off site, they still are required to have a membership to come on the site. So he basically gets like $50 million a year just in memberships from the people that, and he just gives them out like candy because it's like, of course he does. Like, oh, hey, you did a good job. Have a membership to my thing in the White House. Cause it's like, that's $1 million, right? It's like he's getting from the government.
Pardons based on that too.
Yeah. So
because I know a lady, her son got thrown in prison for like some scam and he was going to be there for 10 years. She went, bought a membership, met Trump. And then the next day, this kid's out of prison.
Got the pardon. Yep. Yeah. He uses it as a way to launder like bribes. That's the whole point. He launder and here's the thing. Why is he charging us, the taxpayers, $1 million for him to have a membership at a resort that he owns that he's never held a membership to? His entire time as a private citizen, he's never had to pay for a membership because he owns the resort. He just by default has a membership. But then when he becomes president, every time he's become president, he charges the U.S. government every year for his $1 million membership.
Did you see that he had racked up $86 million in legal fees based on that? All these defamation of character suit. You know that E. Jean Carroll?
Yeah. That was some horse shit. I'm glad the judge bit back on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. Yeah, they cut him off, and he can't be using our legal system and the people at the Department of Justice to fight his civil suits.
So to those of you that don't know, Donald Trump was found guilty of a rape. They call it digital penetration. Yeah, that's the official charge, digital penetration, basically sticking your digits where they don't belong. And so and the judge even clarified to the media that yes, that's just their wording for rape. Like that is just it's a specific form of rape, but it still is considered rape. So he is found guilty of rape, and he owes her $95 million in 2 charges. I think the first one was like $8 million, and then the next one was like the rest. So
he could have got away with the $8 million, but he wouldn't shut his face.
But he wouldn't shut his face, and he defamed her again. So after she had already won, so anyway, she gets awarded like I think it was $98 million. It was almost $100 million.
Yeah.
And so what does Trump do? He tries to get it moved because these are state federal charges, right? He tries to get him moved to federal charges so that he can basically just pardon himself and get out of it.
Yep.
Because if he's pardoned, he never committed the crime, and therefore he doesn't owe the money. But he can't do that if it's state. And he tried to do the same thing with his other charges, his other 30 felonies. He's like, oh, Pam Bondi, our fake-ass attorney general, he's like, why don't you tell them that we want to make those federal charges? Like, we'll take those state charges because we think that they should be tried at a federal level because, it was the president that did these crimes after all. And the reason they want to do that is not because they want to investigate at the federal level or they want to put him in a federal prison. They're doing it so that he can pardon himself. He's trying to get all of his lawsuits that are outside of his jurisdiction where he can pardon them into his jurisdiction where he can pardon them. It's so fucked up.
And even that's pretty nice compared to when he came back into office. He went after all of the people that investigated him, all the FBI agents, all the district attorneys and things like that. Those guys are all fucked.
So Boom Like Shot said, where do you find this information? Tons and tons of news outlets. You can use Ground News. You can search Google, Bing. It's been discussed to death. A lot of these have been discussed to death because it's been going on for so long. Like, go ahead.
If he wants to blow his own mind, go to the whitehouse.gov and look up all of the executive orders he's made. He's got shit in there about the water pressure from your shower head.
Yeah, like washer machines and toilets. Like, toilets need to have 5-gallon flush cycles again. Like, what the fuck's that? Why? Like,
and then he did one, Make America Great Again, and it had something to do with charging people with treason or something like that if they went against him. It's literally like right there. I don't think it says treason, but it's forcing people, 2 people in particular that wrote a book about him. It's to get them back. This is not regular stuff, guys.
No, this is authoritarian bullshit is what it is. And by the way, this is stuff no other president has done. Like, this is all unprecedented.
Ever.
This is all Trump doing something that other people... Everybody's like, oh, but the other side does it. No, they don't. No, they don't. As a matter of fact, if you want to even go, like, Grok is one of the most biased fucking AIs that there is when it comes to shit. And it will even narc on him. You can literally go ask Grok how many times Joe Biden or Obama called publicly for the termination of a journalist or for a news network to be punished. The number's 0. Obama, Biden, doesn't matter. Even like George Bush, for crying out loud. George Bush Jr., Clinton. None of these people have ever called for a journalist to be fired publicly or for a news network to be punished. You know how many times Trump's done it? 100+ times. In the 7 months he's been off, 100+ times through posts on his social media and publicly during press conferences, he's called for the termination of journalists and for the punishment of news networks.
And
it's
he's called
wild.
Journalists enemies of America, right?
Enemies of America, exactly treasonous, everything you can
Hitler
think of.
Did again. Yeah.
It's, dude, that's why people are like, when I hear people say, hey, don't worry about it, it's whatever, this always happens, you're overreacting. No. Just no. Like, if you actually go and do your goddamn research, you will come to the same fucking conclusion that I have. And that is the things that Trump is doing they're unprecedented. And the power he has is unprecedented. Remember, he got his Supreme Court majority that should have recused themselves to grant him presidential immunity, which never has happened before. Presidential immunity means and they did say this. You can go listen to the argument from SCOTUS. He can hire anybody, private sector or SEAL Team 6. It doesn't matter, to go kill any opponent, anybody that he considers as a threat to his power. He can order them executed publicly or in private, and he cannot be charged for a crime because he did it.
Make sure you listen, guys.
Yeah,
do you remember the guy who was arguing the case? Yeah, a voice like this.
Oh yeah, Trump said, yeah, Donald Trump should be able to kill anybody he wants, but don't worry, he won't. That was the only counter argument, by the way.
But yes, that would be true.
Yeah, the only counter argument that was offered was that he won't do it. That's it.
Right.
The judges that agreed, his majority that it's in his pocket, and they all said that yes, we all agree that he can murder people indiscriminately to better himself and enrich himself, but they said he won't do that. That was their safety net. But he can do it. Yeah, we all agree that he can do it, but he's not gonna, guys.
He's cool. Look, we got David Hulet in chat.
Oh, he's like pimping your GoFundMe and shit. Look at that.
Thanks. Hey, David, could you check your X?
Yeah, David, go scroll through your X.
Jerry added you I'm just going to say somebody that shall remain nameless found some weird pictures with.
Yeah, we need some explaining from you, buddy.
Yeah, this is.
We found some pictures of you with your butt cheeks hanging out, dressed as Cupid, and we need some splaining. We need some splaining, bro.
Saying, well, no, we accept you. We want you to know.
We accept you, and we understand you're going through a rough time, and you needed to sell your body. I know.
Or if this is your kink, we don't mind.
I mean, we're not kink shaming. No shame.
Nope.
No shame. I've thought about dressing up as Cupid before and flipping off the camera. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has. Let's be honest. You know, let's just get it out there. Get out in the open.
Makeup and a curly wig.
Dude, you know, if we keep searching, we're gonna find that David like started his career like like Sly, where he's like doing porn. Wasn't that Italian stallion or whatever? We're gonna find the Canadian. Here, come on. We need something that rhymes with Canadian. Come on, Gimp.
Oh God, I can't do it.
The cock Canuck.
Oh, the Canuck who fuck.
The Canuck that fucks. Oh my God. Oh, David, we love you.
It's so great.
We love you.
I admire him. He is a guy who will dive in and try anything once.
I feel like David will do literally anything to act. Like if it's an acting job, it doesn't matter if it's a Campbell Soup commercial or selling rubbers. Like if it's an acting gig, he'll take it. And you know what? He'll do it for scale.
Well, he'll do it
for scale, man. He'll do it for scale. He won't even charge you he won't charge you a premium just because he was on that like little show, you know, Stargate Atlantis. Is like a F level tier character that nobody liked.
I told him I give him the Gimp card. If somebody asks you to play a Gimp in a movie, I hereby give you permission. Go right ahead.
Oh my God. Could you imagine in this day and age how badly that would go over?
Oh, it would go so bad.
Like if he shows up and it's like he's playing like an autistic quadriplegic in a wheelchair with a lazy eye.
It's off to the side, drool coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, this would have won you like an Emmy or an Oscar. But like today, you're just going to have people out protest on your lawn.
Canceled.
They're going to catch your car, light your car on fire. They're going to short out your Tesla and burn your Tesla to the ground.
There's a new show I found that's about people on Medicaid or something like that in England, and they can't get what they need, and a girl with cerebral palsy starts selling drugs. And so it's like a team of 5 or 6 disabled people selling drugs, and it's a comedy. And I said, David, what you need to do, I want you to be the narc. Like you go in as an undercover agent and you pretend to be disabled. And so like you're the mole. I think it would be fantastic.
I think it could work. You know, or let's do a remake of Blazing Saddles starring David Hulet. I think that'd go over well.
Autistic Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what'd be funny is seeing David in that Sylvester Stallone franchise where they keep doing it. What is it? The Expendables?
Yeah.
Yeah, like aren't they like Expendables 7 or 8? Like they're running out of like A-list actors like to add. Like everybody's in it. Everybody from like the 80s and 90s that has ever been in an action movie is in that series. So I feel like David should be in there now. I feel like they've gotten to the level now where it's just like random Canadian nerds should still qualify as like action heroes from the yesteryear.
I think so.
I think that'd be amazing.
What they could do is like, let's say a really pretty girl's crossing the street and there's a mud puddle and Dolph Lundgren picks him up and picks up Hewlett, lays him down so she has something to walk on and not get mud on her shoes. And that's his part.
Oh my God. And the story can be his quest to go to Las Vegas to visit a brothel where a lady who snorts coke drops him on the floor and breaks his shoulder. Oh my God, dude. The story writes itself, seriously.
It does.
Like, I don't think AI is anywhere close to replacing writers of this caliber.
It's true. That's why reality's become so screwed. There is no such thing as a unbelievable plot anymore.
Exactly. By the way, David Hulet in chat, if you saw him there, he shared a GoFundMe. That's not for me, that's for Gimp. So if you guys want to pitch in to help out the old Gimpster, you go right ahead.
I want to preface what I'm doing. My muscular dystrophy gets worse over time. So I'm stronger today than I will be tomorrow. And so on and so forth. And that's the way it's been my whole life. just losing strength.
You know what though? Like I have to say, like seeing you compared to other people that I've seen with muscular dystrophy, it seems like whatever you're doing is like working really well to like slow the degradation. Because I had a friend who had muscular dystrophy that went from like being able to like walk to literally being like chair bound and having a hard time swallowing within just like 3 years. Like they're super aggressive on forums.
If
like,
you have Duchenne's, there's one called Duchenne's, and it can get you usually before you hit 20. The one I have is supposed to get you before you're 2 years old. So I'm like a really rare subset of people. And to be super old like this, kind of weird.
You know what though? Like so if you think about it, like muscular dystrophy is basically just like degradation of nerve signals like getting to places, right?
Right. I can feel it's just the motor nerves don't tell the muscles what to do.
So in theory, if they were able to find a gene therapy at some point that could restore the nerves and the communication between the nerves and the brain, you for all intents and purposes could just do like physical therapy and start regaining ability.
Somewhat. I mean, like, my skeleton is fucked because it's never born weight.
That's true. So that would definitely be a problem. But you'd probably gain at least like some mobility of your arms and stuff like that.
Right. They have something called Spinraza, which is actually
I know that drug. Yeah. I know. I watch a YouTuber. It's Shane and the dude that's like he's married to the super hot chick. God, what's his name? Shane something.
Was it the one that was going to get his head like transplanted or no?
No, not that guy. Here, let me see if I can find him really quick. Because man, it is he makes great. He's funny as hell too, just like you. He makes fun of himself constantly. It's like Shane. His entire channel is like It's called oh no, that's not the right one. What is it called? Squirmy and Grubs. There it is.
Squirmy and Grubs. I
gotta link this because I want you to watch this. This is great. This is great stuff. I haven't watched them in a while. They kind of fell out of my feed. But me and my wife used to watch every video that they made. And this guy takes Spinraza and it like helped him out so much. But it's like stupid expensive. Huh?
Yeah, it's like $600,000 the first year.
Yeah,
and then it's every year the upkeep is $250.
Yeah, and like insurance won't touch it. Insurance doesn't consider it like a necessary thing for life, even though it works.
Right. Well, they consider it too experimental or some shit like that.
Well, he improved dramatically from the treatment. Like he got it, and he said it was night and day. Yeah, he did an entire like year's worth of videos where he was doing the Spinraza and he was explaining like what it was doing for him. But then he ran into the problem where like insurance wouldn't cover it after like the first year. And then they had to go to like war with the insurance and like shame him publicly and like do all this shit to get it covered again because it was so expensive. So
well, yeah, but
you should contact him, dude. You should. I bet you if you reached out to him, he'd give you some pointers on how you could probably get the system to pay for it. He also got a robotic arm too. That robotic arm thing that you wanted for your chair, he has one of those too.
Well, see, okay, that's what I would really like to do, guys, with that GoFundMe that we linked. Is I'd like to get a robotic arm so I could feed myself and take a drink without a straw. Never done that my whole life. I think that'd be cool to give myself a bite of whatever the hell I want.
We need to make it happen. We need to make it happen. We need to we need to at least get like, and the thing is like, there's no reason why these damn robotic arms should be like $30,000, $40,000, $60,000 or whatever. It's just because they're medical devices, right? You're paying for like the medically certified software so it doesn't like, kill, strangle you or whatever because you push the wrong button.
Which I'd be fine losing an eye if I could eat what I want sometimes.
Right? It's like
tease with my taters.
They call it like a learning curve, right? It's just like you poke an eye out, stab yourself in the nose, break your neck, whatever. It's like, dude, hey, you've had hookers throw you on the floor and break your shoulder. A little robotic arm ain't shit. Like, come on.
That's nothing.
So
I just chew on it.
Yeah, I think we need to get your robotic arm because the cool thing about them is like you can control them with like very, very minimal movement.
Right.
Like, and I think that you can even hook them up to do like eye tracking where you can like move the arm and stuff by just having the camera look at your face.
Right.
And you can like use your eye motion to like navigate and to like, blink to like open and close the actuator. So there's all different ways that you can control the arm. They even have like little things that they can put on your muscles to like pick up your weak muscle impulses and stuff and do shit.
That's what I want to get also. There's a place called Celtic Magic, and the guy's making all kinds of like pretty cutting edge switches and joysticks that you can basically the galvanic response. Isn't that what you're?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is.
Yep, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so you can actually lay this tape on your arm, and even if you can at least flex a muscle, it doesn't have to be enough to move you, but if you can flex it, it will pick that up and turn that into a switch or a whatever.
Yeah, and I mean they even have brain-computer interfaces that don't require invasive surgery. You literally just put a thing on your head, like a halo on your head, and it can pick up the signals, and like you can train it over time, and it'll get better and better and better. Isn't that dangerous? No, I mean the robotic arms, like you can program them. Like you get one that has something called force sensitivity, so basically it has a strain gauge in all the joints, and that's what I have like with my Haddington Dynamics robotic arm, my 5-axis 3D printed arm before Haddington Dynamics got bought out, and now they don't make them anymore. But that 3D printed arm that I have has the ability to detect force and very minute amount of force. So I could put a knife in the hand of that robot and have it move as fast as it can at me. And as soon as it touches my skin, it will detect that force and come to a complete and total stop, just leaving the tiniest little pinprick. Like it will not stab the knife into me. And the way it does it is because there's deflection in the joints, and it can tell what that deflection is because they have the strain gauges in there. So, and it's super sensitive. So you can program it to be like so sensitive that even if it just taps a surface of a desk, it'll know that it touched something, almost like a probe touching off on a CNC machine. So you can make these robotic arms super safe where they cannot hurt you. Like that thing can come at you as fast as it possibly can and like rail into the side of you, and it will stop. It will lock up all the joints on the robot and come to a complete and total stop before it issues any kind of damage.
That Omni arm even lets you like just say, okay, when you set it up and you put it on somebody's tray, you go, don't move past this point, right? So like so it just won't go past that, shove the fork down your throat or something.
Yeah, you can also outfit it with sensors so that it can detect like LiDAR, where it'll detect you, and that way it won't even touch you. Like if it gets anywhere close to anything that it's not supposed to be manipulating, it'll just stop. It'll just shut down so that it doesn't cause any harm. The only time that these robots can really harm you that are set up properly is one, if there's a bug in the software, which is entirely possible. Like that, you want to make sure it's tested well. Or if they randomly lose power. Because if it's a heavier arm made out of metal, like one of the stronger arms, the reason they make them out of such rigid materials because the more rigid the material is, the closer in space accuracy that you get. Because obviously, like for instance, my 3D printed robotic arm, the only reason it's as accurate as it is because of software. It's using a supercomputer to use an inverse kinematics that's taking into account every bend and flexure of the material. And so if you grab the arm and you pull it down, the other two joints will compensate and pull it back up with bend in it to put it right back in the same place in space. And
that's cool.
It takes a lot of processing power to do that. So it's got like this little like $600 FPGA supercomputer on it that does all this like real-time telemetry to figure that out. Without that, the robot becomes dangerous. Like if you don't have that ability to like place it exactly where you want in space, or you have the strain gauges to know that you don't want it to exceed a certain amount of pound-foot torque going into something or touching something, I mean, a lot of that is software. A lot of that is really software. And as a matter of fact, you can replace a lot of sensors with software too. I didn't realize this. Like there's a lot of old school robotic arms that have like 1 million sensors on them to like not kill people, right? Do not kill humans. Build car, do not kill humans. But what they do is they put all these sensors on them, but then the sensors over time can go bad. If you have like 50 sensors on that thing, you're going to be servicing it, end of life. Sensors are just going to be dying continuously, and it's going to cause problems and give you downtime. So what they do now is anything that they don't absolutely need a sensor for, if it's something that they can emulate in software, they do it. And there's all kinds of ways that you can do it. Like, for instance, instead of a force gauge, you could put a strain gauge on there that you have to now monitor a separate thing. You have to have more software, more compute power. But check this out. Some clever person figured out that if it's a DC motor, which a lot of these do use DC motors, if it's a DC motor, when it's moving, the strain on the motor creates resistance. The electricity going into the motor changes the current draw. So if the motor hits something and it stops it because it can't go through it, the motor obviously is pushing more power. It's more resistance. And you can detect that through the power. So just using the motor itself and just watching the voltage spikes on the motor, the ohms or whatever, watching them spike, you can actually use that as a rudimentary strain gauge to stop the robot from advancing if it hits something it's not supposed to.
That's so freaking smart.
So now
dude.
you can have a simple robot with 3 motors that basically has the same strain gauge capability, not to the same accuracy, but it's enough, right? It's enough to prevent it from killing somebody.
Okay, I'm just a question, and you're probably a good guy to ask this. When you're eating food, do you ever like see a bite on there? Like, let's say it's lasagna. You go, oh, see that bubbly brown cheese part? That's what I want for my next bite. And so you do that, right?
Yeah.
I never get to do that. Like, it's just.
Yeah, you don't get to pick your bites. You just get whatever gets shoveled into your mouth.
I just get whatever's there, right? My sister's cool. She'll take 5 minutes and let me pick it out. Over here, no. Over here, no. Over there. But it'd be so cool to feed myself.
How amazing is it, though, to be surrounded with family that does that for you?
They're so wonderful.
Like when I think about that, it's like, imagine how impossible life would be. Like without them, you'd have to be institutionalized. There'd be no way you could feed yourself. You'd have to have some stranger that hates you, that's paid not enough money to basically do all this shit for you, and you're just going to feel like you're never going to have that connection that you do with family.
Right. And my swallowing's not good, so probably several times a month they have to get something out of my throat because I'm choking a bit.
They make things that you can use for exercising your throat muscles.
Yeah,
I could get you one on Amazon.
Heard of that.
Yeah.
There was a movie about that called Deep something.
Yeah, something about that.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
I'd probably, if I send you that, though, just make sure that you get the neighbor to do it, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, don't traumatize your family with that one, okay? It's enough for them. Like, traumatize somebody else.
I had a gal, because I had talked to a nurse about, helping with the old, I can't move my right arm. What say we work something out? She's like, well, why doesn't your mom and dad do that? It's like, jerk me off? What are you talking about? Are you insane?
It's like, I'm weird. I'm not that weird. Shit.
I'm like,
I'm not that south,
Yeah, it's like, I'll die first, lady. I'll die.
Do you hear a twang in my voice? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Does this look like Alabama? This is not Alabama.
Hey, you know what though? We should talk about the pros of having muscular dystrophy. And the pro is you can actually ask somebody to give you a hand job, and you're not going to get arrested. Because the cops are going to show up and be like, God, it's going to be so much trouble to put handcuffs on this guy. Somebody's going to record it. I'm probably going to get fired. Whatever. We'll just say, give him a warning and leave.
I did have the police take me out of a theater, but
what? Okay, do tell. We got to hear this story.
Okay.
How do you get thrown out of a theater?
MAGA takes over the local theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been here forever. Watched hundreds of movies here. And they know me as the guy because I'll wear the Marvel shirt or the, Star Trek or whatever.
Wait, what state are you in? Can you say, or?
I'm in Northeast Colorado.
Okay, Colorado. That's not a state you'd really think that there'd be like Alabama levels of Trump.
Well, no, it's awful out here where it's all agricultural and stuff,
Well, Trump's really pissing off farmers now, so maybe they'll join you after a while. After
maybe.
They've experienced losing their jobs.
Once they get rid of all the Mexicans, I guess, or whatever they.
So you're in a theater, it gets taken over by the megas, and they know you.
Okay, the people. No, they don't know me. The people who owned it before knew me. They made an appointment. I met the new owner. Okay, she said we didn't put in handicap accessibility. But Lance doesn't mind. He just sits right here. And she showed where I sat, right? And he's great. He makes movie going fun for everybody. And so I come in with my family and sit where I always sat. And they're like, no, you can't sit here. You're a fire hazard. You have to go all the way back to the back of the theater, like behind the surround sound speakers. Up on the flat part. I'm like, what? I'm not going to do that. I'll watch the movie, then I'll leave. And they called the freaking cops. And they shut off the movie.
Wow.
Turned on all the lights. The cops came, got me. It was bullshit.
What's the name of the theater? Let's fucking name and shame them right now.
Cover, Cover Theater.
Cover Theater in Colorado.
Fort Morgan, Colorado.
Yeah, they can get fucked for that. That's terrible.
Do you know what I did? Why I'm such an idiot is I actually contacted my attorney, and I was going to get him, but then they called me the bad guys,
Mm-hmm.
and they own all the movie theaters for about 30 miles around. And they said, if this even gets known, Hollywood will not send us movies anymore. And nobody in this area will get to go to the theater. And so that was their sob story to me. I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't want everybody in town to think, not get to watch movies. So I drop everything, and those assholes attacked me after that.
Wow.
Like, after I dropped it. It's just,
wow, man.
Big holes.
Yeah, I would have no sympathy after that. I would just literally full on fucking contact the media, get on the fucking night news, and just shame their asses into the ground. Because that is fucked up.
Totally fucked up.
Because here's the thing. It's like
tough.
All you need, you bring your own chair. You don't even need a chair. It's like you literally just sit there in an area and look at a screen. It's like you're not causing any problem. And like you said, you've done it before. Like you did it for a long time with the other one.
Yeah.
So they were doing this on purpose just to discriminate against you just because they were assholes.
You know what sucks? The people from before that owned it, like I taught their kid and stuff. So they would open the theater. Like if I asked a girl to go to the movies, they would open it on off times and put on the popcorn and everything, and I could have the theater to myself with the girl.
Oh man,
so that's how cool they were. We go from them to the MAGA chuds. It just sucked.
Yeah, MAGA is definitely. What's weird though is I feel like MAGA's a lot like, well, they are a lot like Nazis, in that they see themselves as like honorary Aryan. Like, you had a lot of the oligarchs in Germany and a lot of the, like Hitler himself, who did not meet the standard that he persecuted. Right. And it's like, as long as you were honorary, basically, right? Kind of like what Trump does with like some of the Uncle Toms that have turned against their own to get a little scrap off his table, that now he accepts them, right? But he won't like put them in front of anything. He's like embarrassed of them, but he's like, oh, I'll say they're in the club at least because they're helping me right now. They're giving me something. It's like, that's what's so fucked up about it is a lot of them look at themselves and they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally in the club. And it's like, do you not realize that you also have disabilities that people could discriminate against?
Right. And you could join me. You take a dive into a shallow pool. Hello, friend Gimp. You're in my shoes now. Yeah. Won't everybody be an asshole to you like you are to me?
And what's sad is like the current administration is trying to take away any program that helps, and all the way down to like not even just physical disabilities. We're talking like even just like autism. Like my son, one of the things people are like, why are you so vocal about all this shit? I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because Trump literally put the guy in human health services as the brainworms guy, who's the anti-vaxxer, and he wants my son to be in a registry because he's on the autism spectrum. So now my son has to be in a registry that every business can check, and if anybody hires him, he's considered a DEI hire no matter what his skill. How fucked up is that? Don't you think that's a little fucked up? What happens when one of your family members is a DEI hire all of a sudden? Now are you going to be mad? Are you finally going to fight back after sitting there and supporting him doing all this shit? Like, do you have to wait until it comes to your door?
I think that's one of the problems with them. It has to happen to them first.
It has to
happen. They
have
no empathy.
Every single person
is for themselves.
Yeah, every person that's contacted me that has said, "Oh my God, can I get an unban or whatever?" Oh, you were totally right about that. I'm sorry. Like you weren't overreacting. He really did do it. All those people, the only reason that they're apologizing and want to be unbanned is because now it's affecting them. Not a single one of them was like, he did something that affected other people that I disagree with. It was they did something that affected them. They were only turning against Trump because he lied and did something that affected them. As long as he lied and it affected other people and didn't affect them, they were fine with it. They were like totally cool with it. And that's the difference. That is the fundamental difference between MAGA and everybody else. Right. The rhinos, as they call them, or what I'd call the true Republicans, like the old school Republicans, the conservatives.
Yeah.
And the liberals, they're kind of in a bucket together now. Like people, like it's us against the MAGAs now. It's like conservatives and liberals. We can kind of get down on a lot of things, like true conservatives. Can't with the MAGA guys. The MAGA guys are 100% or nothing. And only with Trump. If Trump changes his mind, the entire cult shifts with him. Like JD Vance will literally say, "Oh, this is terrible. Fucking, we hate these people. We don't want to." And then Trump's like, the next day just changes his mind because they give him a jet or whatever. Now they're the greatest people ever. Next day, JD Vance is like, "Oh, and this country's so great and it's amazing and they're the best." And it's like, dude, just yesterday you said the opposite. What the fuck are you doing? No, you misunderstood me. You misunderstood me. That's not what I said at all. It's like, dude, we have the video. Like, we literally have the video.
Trump
You're just
is
in
the
lockstep with Trump.
anti-war. Trump is the anti-war president.
Yeah.
He starts bombing places. They're like, well, if you bomb them first, that's not really war. And
Yeah, he's like, if I'm president, there won't be any wars. Biden's going to start World War III. What does he do in the first 7 months? Now we got 2 wars, and we're involved directly in one of them.
Yep.
Like literally, like boots on the ground now, involved in that shit. And now he's trying to save it by saying that there's like some fucking peace deal. That isn't going to hold, dude.
No.
Do you really think Iran and Israel, who are like sworn enemies, like at the religious level, that's like the worst kind of fucking war, right? They want to obliterate each other and have wanted to obliterate each other for thousands of years. They're not going to, Trump isn't going to just sign a document and they're magically going to play ball. What they will do is they might play nice for like a short period of time because Trump's giving them something to hold up appearances, but it won't last. It will never last. And it's sad because now, and a lot of people don't understand this either, because we attacked them. This is why Congress needs to be involved in these decisions, and they weren't. Is because when we attack them, NATO cannot defend us now when Iran retaliates. NATO has to sit there and let it, basically one of the rules are if you fucking bomb a country unprovoked, which we were, remember, they were attacking Israel, not us. If we bomb them unprovoked, which is exactly what Trump did, they get to retaliate. They basically get a free punch at us.
Well, free that after we already punched them in the face. Did you see that tweet he did? After we bombed the shit out of them with like 30,000-pound bunker busters, he writes that stupid tweet, and at the end it says, "This is a time of peace." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Talking about, dude? Yeah,
it's insane.
And then he lies to the public. He lies to the public, says the entire program's obliterated. We find out that because he was bragging about it days before it happened, they moved all the material. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get any of the material. Apparently, we didn't blow up many of the centrifuges because they said the programs, they have people literally inside in Iran in the base, and those people have reported back that no, they're like maybe 2-3 months max setback before everything's back online. Do you think
he actually gets briefed on really secure shit now after the first term when he would like just release things and show the Russians like what our spy satellites were looking at? And
dude, the head of our military literally just leaks shit in signal chats all day long. Like literally Trump, not just Trump gets everything, but so does the public. How do you think this shit leaks? It's not, he's like, oh, somebody out there leaked. Dude, it's your own guys. Nobody's using secure communication. Everybody's using their little iPhones in their pocket on open networks. It's terrible. It's like we have, and here's the funny thing is like Trump said that it was completely obliterated, which we knew was a lie. Like that was a lie right out of the gate. NATO called bullshit on that. And then we get back the information that says, no, it was like minimal damage. It did set him back, but it was minimal damage and we didn't get any of the material. Trump just keeps saying that even though he's got that report, that's his report, by the way, that he gets served, and he's still telling everybody that it was completely obliterated. So now we know he's lying. Like he's willfully lying at that point. It's not just making shit up. Now he's willfully. He does it all the time. So then the report leaks, right? But it's technically not a leak. It's protected under whistleblower because Trump literally divulged the information publicly and lied about it. Therefore, it's safe for the whistleblower to call that out because he's lying to the public. So whistleblower, whatever, releases it. The press goes through, and all it is, it's nothing confidential. It's just saying the truth, that it agrees with NATO, that there wasn't much damage. Our own intelligence said that there wasn't much damage. And we knew that going into it. Like they even said, we've never tried these 30,000 bombs. Like we've only tested them. Like on our own ranges, we've never actually used them in the field. This is like the first time these bombs have ever been used to hit an enemy, to hit an actual enemy. And Iran knew we had these bombs when they built that fucking base 600 feet under the ground. Right. So they built that base specifically to hold up against, the largest non-nuclear weapon we had. That's why they built Fordo in the first place. That's why they were doing the enrichment there in the first place. So you have this.
One of your members shot you a message and asked if you looked at the tweet yesterday, freaking meme video, basically. It's like we are living in a terrible simulation.
It does feel like that.
Did you watch that?
No,
I haven't seen that yet.
Which video is he talking about? Like something Trump posted or?
Yeah, something Trump posted.
Is this the one where it's like music and he's like slow walking off Air Force One and they made like almost like a music video thing of him like as the leader, like the big daddy or whatever? Is that the one that they're talking about? Because I did see that one.
So, like he's an expendable.
Dude, we're just living in a weird time, man. A weird time. So now Iran, one of the biggest sponsors of terrorism on the planet, gets to take a shot at us, and they're gonna they have boots on the ground. Like, let's be honest. Like they're here. Like they're here. It's just a matter of when they're gonna hit. and what they're going to hit. They're going to take their time too. They know we're at a high alert status right now, which is funny. Trump's like, oh, it's peace and we have this agreement. Why are we on fucking high alert then? Why is every base in Iran right now on high alert if you're so confident that there's like a ceasefire and a peace agreement in effect?
Right.
Like, why are you on high alert then? And then once this all comes out public and we know the truth, right? What does he do? He calls for the arrest of the journalist. All journalists. No, sorry. All Democrats. He doesn't even say the journalists. He said all Democrats leaked this and they should all be arrested and charged with treason.
Oh my God.
It's like, what? What are you talking about, bro? Like seriously? And then he calls for like the networks. He's like, I'm calling on CNN right now to fire this journalist. So he like posts a picture of her like on his feed. He's like, I want this journalist fired. And then he starts saying his meeting. He's like, I have a feeling that CNN's going to be firing this person. Then CNN didn't fire him, and he was like super pissed because he thought that if he just leans on him and threatens them, they'll do it, which it works for a lot of them. He just
ABC did it.
ABC did it.
You know that guy that interviewed him and said that those tattoos were not there; they were photoshopped. Mm-hmm. They fired. I want to point something out really quick for everybody in chat. Did you see Jerry Itch's face? Remember, the Gimpy G cannot do that. But if he had a robotic arm, he could. Just saying.
That robotic arm, technically, with the strain gauge, it could whack you off too.
I didn't want to go there. That could be a possibility. I'm just saying.
I'm just going to say, Paddington Dynamics, when they gave me this robotic arm, they said if I put a counterweight on the back of it, it should be able to carry a fleshlight.
We could dress it up with little Cupid wings and little pink cheeks and a curly hair wig and.
Gimpy's just driving around the house all day. Your family just hears the robotic arm going. Why does it keep making the same sound 24 hours a day? What's going on there?
Maybe need some WD-40 up in
Come
there.
out, you're all red in the face, sweating. You're like dehydrated. You're like, I'm gonna need me some orange juice, like Rick and Morty.
I can't feel my face.
No, there's a lot that people take for granted. And I certainly am one of them, right? Because I feel like I focus on the disabilities and not the abilities. Because it's just you become used to, and I'm sure it's the same for you, where it's like you're so used to just being in the situation that you're in, that if I was suddenly just like within one day, I was in your situation, I'd freak out. I would absolutely lose my shit because it'd just be so much change so fast, I'd be in a state of panic. But because you eased into it over time, it's like you're somewhat used to it. Just like with me, it's like I'm not going to say I'm used to my back pain, but if I went from what I was like 10 years ago to where I'm at today, like in one day, if that just happened, I would be on the ground crying 24/7, curled in the fetal position, begging for somebody to kill me. Like you become accustomed and used to the constant pain and the building of it. And it gets to the point where it's like you can manage it with drugs to a certain extent. But it never feels right. Like I will never, and again, I feel bad, like even complaining about this in your presence, because like you got it so much worse than me. But everybody has their own. It's relative, right? Everything's relative to the position. But for me, it's like sometimes I get overwhelmed because I'm like, I will never know what it's like to be comfortable again. Like this pain is constant in my hip, and it's radiating down my leg, and now that it's happening on the other side, and my L4 is like got bone spurs they can't cut off because they'll just grow back. And so I just live in this constant state of pain where it feels like I have a tight rope down one of my legs that every step I take, I can feel it clicking. And each time it clicks, it gets more inflamed and more inflamed. That's why people are like, why don't you walk? It's like every 10 feet I walk, it gets more and more inflamed. And I can't take anti-inflammatories because I'm allergic to them. I literally go to the hospital if I take naproxen, if I take Advil, if I take aspirin, any NSAID. I'm allergic to the entire class. Like I'm allergic to how the medication works, not the medication itself. So I am allergic. The only anti-inflammatories I can take is a drug called prednisone. And if you've ever taken prednisone, you wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy for daily. But sadly, a lot of people do have to take it every single day.
Isn't that the steroid that like makes your face swell up?
Yeah, it makes your face swell up, your hands swell up. It makes you really angry, very jittery, very emotional, makes it almost impossible to sleep. I will say this, though. If you have pneumonia, it's amazing. Like if you have pneumonia,
I have had that.
Yeah, if you're struggling to breathe,
it's gonna kill me.
Yeah, if you're struggling to breathe, it's the greatest drug ever, and you'll beg for it. But any other situation, it sucks. It just is a shitty fucking drug to have to take all the time. Some people rely on it though and have to take it every single day, even though it kills your organs. But
so if I get a little cranky, my family knows what it is. Like if the storm's coming in.
Yep.
So for you, but I know it's tearing at your brain. I'll bet your IQ is like 20 points lower than what it was.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because, it's eating at you and eating at you and eating at you, and you're doing everything like
sleep
on a
is
different
critical.
processor.
Sleep is critical to brain function. And like I said, I missed an entire day of sleep this week because I hit a pain point where no amount of drug will help and I just got to get through it. And that happens a couple times a week where it just gets so overwhelmingly bad. Now, here's the thing. I can go get in the hot tub. I'm so thankful that my friend bought me a hot tub because if I can get into that hot tub, I feel it relieves the pain. Even the worst pinch in my hip will start to release as long as I'm floating in the hot tub and there's no strain on that joint. It's amazing. But here's the problem. I can only be in the hot tub for 45 minutes. Any more than that, my heart starts going all tachycardia. And and I've got the little thing where, you test your heart rate from like 6 different, like you put it on your ankle and you put your fingers on it. And it basically, it tests your heart to see if there's arrhythmia. And if I'm in the hot tub any longer than 45 minutes or an hour, I start picking up multiple arrhythmias per minute. And that's not good. Like, obviously, that's your heart literally skipping beats. And that can cause, it starts giving you double vision, tunnel vision. You start feeling fingertips get all tingly. Like your heart, when your heart does weird shit, like you feel it quickly. Like it's not a slow effect. It happens really rapidly. And so I know that when I get in that hot tub, I only have about 45 minutes of pain relief. So I wait until it's so bad that I can't stand it where I'm in tears. Then I go get in the hot tub and I try to relieve it. And then the problem is I struggle to get out. And my wife can't lift no 400-pound Barnacules out of the hot tub. Like, that ain't happening.
I know a meth head that might try to lift you out if you want.
What's that?
I'm just saying. I know a meth head girl who might try to lift you out.
I need to call up, what is it, the Bunny Ranch in Vegas and be like, hey, do you still got that 350-pound muscle lady that's like snorting coke? I need her to come get me out of a hot tub. Send her over here. I'll buy her a ticket.
Hey, Ron.
But my biggest fear, though, is getting stuck in that hot tub. Like, that's why I usually only go in the hot tub now with, like, my wife and kid. I want somebody there, physically there, in case something goes wrong. Like, even if they have to call the fire department to get me out. Like, that's fine. Like, they'll do it. But my biggest fear is, and it almost happened twice, that I went in there when I didn't have people around, and I felt like I had to yell for a neighbor. And then I ended up staying in the hot tub for, like, 3 or 4 hours because I couldn't get out. Like, because what happens is you get in there, and then once you start having those heart arrhythmias, you start getting weak. And then when you get weak, your muscles don't respond. And then I can't physically get myself over the side of the tub. So my options are, if it's like super panic situation and I think I'm going to die, I can like throw myself over the edge and then just let myself fall and break my arm or whatever, falling out of the tub. But I can't get my leg up and over because the nerve just stops responding and my leg just goes rogue on me. And so that scares me, not being able to get out. So I make sure that when I'm in the hot tub, usually at about the 30, 35 minute mark, I'm like, I don't even wait for the 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to get out while I can.
See, that sucks. You're anticipating, okay, I can only be here so long. I got to screw that.
And then what you can do is I can turn the temperature down on the hot tub and stay in longer. So if I put the temperature down under 100 degrees where it's like, more like lukewarm, then I can stay in there for like 4 hours. But here's the problem. Is without the heat, the pain still radiates and comes back. So so it does help that I'm still weightless, but I still get the radiating pain in my hip. That doesn't go away, and I can't sit comfortably. So I basically have to float on my back the whole time, like I'm in a float tank. And so it's a little maddening. It's a little maddening.
If you put salt, is there such thing as a saltwater hot tub? That'd be kind of interesting.
They do make them.
Way more buoyant in there,
They do make them, and I'd imagine the problem with saltwater hot tubs, though, is the filtration system has to be really specialized. Because in order to separate out like the water and the salt and filter all the biologicals out of it and then like reconstipate it back together, it takes a very complicated. And I know because I've seen people with saltwater aquariums. If you've ever seen the filtration system on a saltwater aquarium versus a freshwater aquarium, it's night and day. Like you could easily spend thousands of dollars on a filtration system for a saltwater tank versus a freshwater tank, just requiring like a pump and a filter, and you're done. So I'd imagine for a hot tub, it'd be pretty hard to do. We use, in our hot tub, we use chlorine, because it's cheaper than bromine, and I don't have any bad reactions to chlorine. Somebody did ask why the 45 minutes. 45 minutes is a rough estimate. It can be a little more, it can be a little less, but it's based on the temperature of the hot tub. So normally to get full release, I have full release, ladies. To get to get the pain to go away, I have to put the hot tub at 104 degrees, which is its max temperature.
That's what they call a Freudian slip.
It was
except that Barnacules is really inching up on the record for drain babies.
Hey, don't shame me for masturbating in my hot tub. It's my hot tub, and I can masturbate in it if I want to.
Yeah.
And if my neighbors are looking, it's because they want to. I'm in a secluded area, so if they're going out of their way to see me do it, that's on them, not on me. Besides, if the cops come around and say I have this is a funny joke. This is a fat person joke. I love this fat person because
fat person.
we're going to talk about why we're being so self-deprecating, because it's actually very therapeutic. Right. It's very therapeutic. But what I've always told my wife is like Peter Griffin. It's like if you know every time they show Peter Griffin naked, you can't see his penis because his belly overhangs it. I'm in the same situation. So what I tell everybody is if anybody ever accuses me of indecent exposure, which if you look up the law, decent exposure requires your genitals to be visible to somebody.
See?
So if the police show up, I will take all my clothes off and I will let them walk around me at any angle. And if they can photograph my genitals, they can take me to jail.
That's right.
I can hide that shit behind layers of fat. Like I'll tuck that shit like Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs. They will not see nothing. Any neighbor that says that they see my genitals, draw a picture of them. Tell me what they look like. I dare you. You did not see shit. I could run around the house naked, and you would never in a million years see my genitals unless I want you to. So
see? It's your superpower.
It's my superpower, man. It's my superpower. I'm like a turtle. It only comes out when it's hungry.
Is he streaking? We don't know.
That's right. I can't streak. I technically can't streak. It's like, for all you know, I'm wearing 3 pairs of underwear. You're never going to know. It's just buried in the rolls. Grouchy Outlaw says, sorry, I meant, why does your heart start acting up after 45 minutes? Oh, okay. So my heart is, I have a strong heart. Like I've gotten an EKG. They said my heart's good. Everything's great there.
Good.
The problem with the arrhythmia is the heat. The heat causes the arrhythmia, and it's really common. It happens to everybody. Like if you're in a hot tub long enough at a high enough temperature, your heart will start skipping beats. I don't know if it's because your blood gets too hot or your body temperature raises up too much, but your heart just starts wigging out. Like the signaling just kind of gets fucked up to it. For me, I think it's a little bit worse though, because I take a ADHD drug called Adderall. And Adderall boosts your body temperature by 1 to 2 degrees, which is like really, that was really helpful during COVID, because everywhere you go, you register a fever.
Oh, yeah. Unclean.
Yeah, but if you don't know, if you take Adderall, your body temperature usually, like instead of 98.6, is like 99.6, 99.8, somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Little under 100. So, and the reason for that being is it overdrives your system. It overdrives your heart. It overdrives your metabolism. Everything gets boosted a little. And that's all the side effect of it also boosting your neurotransmitters, making the connection stronger, and that's why you get that like hyper focus. That's why you get that ability to remember really good. It's a fantastic drug if you are just like all over the place and you can't fucking stay on track, or you just chase squirrels constantly. If you have rage and ADHD, Adderall is a pretty damn effective drug. I've been on it for about 17 years. But here's the problem with it: is the drug by itself causes minor arrhythmia, which so like 2 or 3 times a day I just randomly have an arrhythmia event. But it's very small. It's like just one. You feel, I'm so used to it now, it's like it just goes ignored. It's just like, it doesn't give me any tunnel vision, it doesn't do anything, but when I'm in the hot tub, I think it exacerbates it a lot.
Obviously, you do pee and shit your pants.
Constantly,
but
yeah.
You just ignore that and keep on going.
That's the trick. That's the trick, man. And if anybody smells it, you just, go get the pressure washer, hose out your pants.
You go, whoa, who dealt that?
But one of the things we did want to talk about, though, is the self-deprecating humor. Is a lot of people don't understand that self-deprecating humor is actually hugely empowering to the people that use it. So everybody says, don't be hard on yourself. Don't get down on yourself. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. Well, actually, my therapist had a completely different opinion on that. My therapist understood 100% how important self-deprecating humor is, because if you can make fun of yourself, you basically are taking that power back. Because if somebody else makes money, it's no big deal, because you've already done it. It's like, it's nothing new. You've already kind of you've taken the stab at yourself. You've taken the piss. And the other thing is when you can accept yourself and see yourself for like the worst of the worst, right? Like literally just taking everything to the extreme, and other people see that, they know that they're not going to offend you being around you. Because it's really easy. Like if you go to a party and you're a 400-pound dude, people don't want to come over and talk to you because they're afraid they're just, they're going to look at you or say something wrong and you're going to flip out on them.
Right.
Same thing. If Gimp goes somewhere and he's in the chair or whatever, they're going to be like, I don't know if I want to talk to that dude because I might end up slip up or say something or look at the wrong thing, piss him off. If you walk into that room and you just tell the most fucked up joke ever, you might offend one person in the room, but the rest of the people immediately are like, that's a guy I can say anything to. Well, you're setting the bar.
That's why I joke. It's like, imagine if you went into a room with like a huge boil on your forehead, and you go in, nobody's talk about the boil. He's really fucked up about the boil. Then nobody's going to talk to you because they can't look directly at you.
Yeah.
But if you come in and go, look, everybody, Vesuvius on my skull, avert your gaze, whatever. You make something funny, then they know, okay, he's cool with it.
Yeah.
We can approach him, talk to him.
The trick
In
is you
public-
set the bar. Like, you set the bar yourself, and then people are comfortable around you. And
I get weird things in public. Religious people approach me quite often and tell me
they put your hand on your head and be like, the power of Christ compels you. The power of
and then
Christ
they throw
compels
me
you.
out of my chair. Yeah. No, but they will say, oh, in the afterlife, you'll be able to pet the lions and blah, 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 and you'll be happy. And I was like, what makes you think I'm not happy now? But anyways, and this happens several times throughout my life. So it's interesting. Or a mom, let's use this as an example. If a kid comes up and stares at me and starts asking me questions, that's okay. But if the mom comes and grabs the kid and yanks them away and, yells at them for doing that, then it becomes a problem. Then it's something scary and unhelpful. And it probably, hurt that kid's ability to talk to other people and understand differences. So, yeah, the self-deprecation really is, I find it far more valuable than policing people's speech.
Agreed.
If they say spaz or whatever, and you say, oh, you can't say that. Are we allowed to say the R word?
Go for it. Whatever you're comfortable with. I don't personally say it because my son's on the spectrum, and I've just trained myself over the years to just not say it because I don't want him to get used to it. Like, I don't want that to be a word that he has. If somebody calls him it, I don't want him to immediately be like, oh, crap.
See, that's the whole deal. If somebody said that to him, fuck them. If I call myself gimpy or crippled, but then somebody in a different context says it to hurt me, well, then we're gonna scrap.
You know what the rule should be? You know what the rule should be, honestly? Is context over phonetics. The way a word is used is way more important than the word itself. You should be able to use just about, there are always exceptions. There's always going to be exceptions, right? And they're justified. But if the word is applies to you and you want to use it and you are using it for educational value or even self-deprecating humor for yourself, you're not doing it to be mean. You're doing it to lighten the mood, to set the bar lower so people can come in easier, right?
Right.
So if you're using the word intentionally to be offensive, that changes everything. Like if I tell Gimp, oh my God, you look like David Hulet, fucking took the wrong bottle of medication and woke up on the wrong side of the bed. We're joking with each other. We both are clearly like, I'm a 400-pound dude. He's stuck in a wheelchair. My hip's fucked up. We're both on medications for life.
True.
It's like, so, and we're friends. So it's like, we can recognize that that's just self-deprecating humor just propagating between us, right?
Right.
Here's the thing. But if you're a person that comes in and genuinely comes at me and says, dude, you're a fucking fat ass, and you mean it. Like, you're saying it to be mean.
Right.
You're saying it to be insulting. That's when I have a problem with it. If you're doing it to be funny, like if you're coming in, you're being funny, and it's like we're friends or whatever, and it's like, hey, easy there. Your heart might give out there, big guy or whatever. And I can tell you're doing it in a jovial sense, then I have no problem with it, and I'll even laugh. I'll think it's funny. And that's where I have a problem with like where things are going today is I feel like a lot of words, like not even the protected words. We're not talking like the hard N word and stuff like that, like that are just protected in general because of the atrocities that have happened, right? I'm talking about people get offended over the silliest shit and they don't care what context it's used in. Like literally, it could be used in the context of educating somebody on what the word means and they are equally offended as if you used it to attack them personally.
Exactly.
I don't like that. I think that that's all wrong. I think that that's
or not even attack them personally. It's like they could be perfectly fine, but somehow they're the thought police or something.
Yeah.
And they're going around. If you are not disabled and you're running around controlling other people's speech, how about you volunteer at a disability center or become friends with the person with a disability?
I think it's more of a power trip thing. I think it's like
that's what I think
because people, when you're offended, you're kind of taking you get the high ground, right? It's like when you're offended, then people are like, ah, crap, I didn't really want to offend this person. Then you feel bad, and now they control where that conversation goes from that point on. But here's the thing. If you are always uncomfortable around somebody, you're not going to talk to them again. Or if you talk to them again, you're not going to be genuine. You're going to walk on eggshells. It's going to be a horrible experience. You're going to try to get out of it as quickly as possible. Very uncomfortable. Like Gimpy. If he literally calls, by the way, his name is Gimpy God. Like that's his name he chose for online, right? So this guy is like, he knows You know right off the bat that he's into the self-deprecating humor, right? It's right out of the gate. No secrets there. But the thing is, like, if I walked up to him and I was like, oh, hey, what's up with you? Like, why are you stuck in a chair? And he was like, I am offended. I am as equally able as you. Fuck you. How'd you assume? I'd be like, okay, I'm so sorry, dude. I never talk to him again. I'd be like, nope, that's danger zone.
It would affect your future if you saw somebody in a wheelchair. Then you're thinking about that shit, right?
Yep.
So I want to be an example for disabled people that says, you know what, you're going to be comfortable, and they're just people. Go up, talk to them, hang out, do whatever. They have different things they need and different things that hurt, but just approach them, get to know them.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree.
And if you're a hot woman, have sex with them. It's not going to hurt anybody.
Or a hot dude. There's hey,
depending.
There's something for everybody.
Right.
Gimp, come on. But Gimp, beggars can't be choosers. You need to take the D, okay? Come on, bro.
It's true.
Just take it.
It's not gay if you're disabled.
At the end of the day, genitals rubbing genitals just feels good. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes and say, this feels like a weird vagina.
Think of Selma Hayek.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly. Just I don't know, put an iPad with some porn in front of your face or something. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
Gimp, I'm going to make it my life's mission to install a fleshlight on your chair, bro. And since we can't we can't afford the robotic arm, we're just going to permanently install it on you.
God, so I'm just stuck there.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a TENS device on your nuts just to keep you fully erect 24 hours a day, and we're just going to stick that sucker on there and leave it.
I can't see a downside.
No. You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? I'll put a massage mode. I'll duct tape a massage motor on it that you can control with your eye movements through the Google thing.
Nice.
And then it just go, and then when you're done, it just turns off. And then, I don't know, you got to call somebody to clean it up.
Anytime I cuss. So then I sound like I got Tourette's when I'm out in public. It'd be awesome.
You're like, fuck. Your eyes are going cross. People are looking.
Balls.
What's wrong with that guy? Why is his eye going cross?
God, Tourette's and muscular dystrophy. That guy, boy, he rolled snake eyes.
Hey, I can guarantee this live stream ain't getting monetized. This is going to be one of the rare ones that has a yellow symbol next to it that's like,
Nah.
No.
We're going to tell them it's educational.
That's okay. I don't think Tech Talk has made more than $10 in ad revenue in like years. So it's not a big deal at all. I like being able to say whatever I want. I hate it when I go on YouTube and I watch a video and everybody's like, PDF files and self annihilation or whatever they say, like because they can't say suicide because it'll immediately get you demonetized.
Oh yeah.
Or you can't say pedophile, because that gets you demonetized. There's like all these words that people have just figured out that get you demonetized. So like when they make a video, they have this lexicon where they just like change out words, and it's like unless you're privy to what the words mean or you're you're getting the context of the sentence to figure out what they mean by that word, you're like lost. You're like, what the hell's going on here? And it's all just to keep your monetization, right? On your video, which I understand. It's like at the end of the day, to make a living, you have to monetize your videos, so you have to get paid. And if you don't follow the rules, you don't get paid. But I just think it's so stupid that YouTube does that. You can literally go on YouTube and look up videos like Ukrainian bomb videos where they're literally dropping grenades on people and like blowing them to bits, and that can get monetized on YouTube. Like there's literally there's ads running on those videos. Yet I can't say in my video the word suicide, otherwise I get demonetized. Even if it's in an educational context or condemning it, right?
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing where it's like, it's just a word, not the context, which is weird because we have AI. You can figure out context easily now.
Right.
Right? AI is great at that. Like on a prompt, you can say, okay, here's a sentence. Tell me, is this being negative or positive? Is this of educational value or is this attacking someone? You can create a prompt that will just come back and say yes or no based on the given content. And they can just plug that shit into AI and be like, you know what? Now we know the context that things are being used, and we don't have to
Would that be helpful for autism if it can tell like from people's speech what their mood is? Are they taking what I'm saying to them? Are they finding this funny?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, something for like Asperger's where it's hard to understand emotion.
Yeah,
AI could be really good at like translating a lot of that into something that you can understand, like something that resonates with you.
That's what I want to do with Game Face. I want to be able to have a little camera and it looks at their face and can kind of diagnose how are people taking what you're saying. The social cues.
That's a great idea.
And help them with that.
That's an amazing idea, actually. And I don't think it would be very hard to do because
No.
cameras are high enough
Well,
resolution now that
right.
you can pick up micro expressions like easily.
Right.
I mean, hell, they already have it for like government cameras that like watch your, the face tracking cameras and stuff. As a matter of fact, I have one. What am I talking about? One of the cameras that I have on my house is an AI enabled camera from Ubiquiti. And it can
Oh, really?
literally look at a face, identify a face, and it can tell me if that person's been here before, and it can tell me if they're happy or they're mad.
Really?
Yeah, it literally looks at their face and it'll
Whoa.
categorize it, and I can actually click on faces and then like angry, and it'll show me all the angry faces that have approached my house. And then there's another thing, I don't have it yet. My buddy Adam's going to give me one, but it's called an AI key. And it's basically a standalone processor that plugs into the Ubiquiti system that's basically a standalone local LLM that's really fast. It's a multimodal LLM that's like Ubiquiti's own proprietary thing.
Wow.
And you tie that into all cameras, and it basically makes every camera AI enabled, not just the one camera, and it extends that AI power infinitely, where you can set up all kinds of things and say, like, if a person approaches my house that's wearing a suit, tell me about it. If somebody's approaching my house and they have a box in their hand, I want you to say that they're a delivery person and categorize that and notify me that a delivery's at my door. Like, you can go to that level of identification. It's really freaking cool, and it's like really powerful. And
yeah.
I'm
I have
excited
a
to try
test.
that. What's that?
Can it tell the difference between kidnappers and an ICE agent? If it could do that, it would be amazing.
Well, you just, the MAGA hat's a dead giveaway. Just look for red.
Oh. Those ICE, why do they wear masks, bro?
Because they know what they're doing is wrong. That just like bank robbers. Why do bank robbers wear masks? It's the exact same reason.
They
Exact
don't
same
want to be
reason.
identified.
They don't want to be identified.
Okay, I thought it was like an intimidation. You're right. It could do both, right? I can work with impunity. I don't have to worry about.
Well, think about it. Think about it. If you are breaking the law and kidnapping people against federal law, because remember, just because they're ordered to do it, if they're following an illegal order, they're still responsible for it. In the military, if you take an unethical order, like even as a government police officer, FBI agent, they have to present. Like if an FBI agent approaches your house, they have to identify. They have to literally pull out their badge, show you their name, tell you who they are and who they're with. ICE agents are no different. They're supposed to be just like police officers. They have to identify themselves. The fact that they're not identifying and the fact that they're covering their faces tells you that they know what they're doing is wrong and they don't want backlash from it because they know it's something worthy of backlash. Now Pam Bondi likes to say, oh, our ICE officers are getting doxxed. What do you mean doxxed? They're public servants.
Right?
They're public
Cops
servants.
are
Like you're
doxxed
supposed
all
to
the
know their
time.
names. Like a cop literally wears his badge and gives you his name for a reason. Like
and where's the camera?
The whole point is they have to be personally identifiable because if they're not, you don't know if they're legally able to detain you or not. If a
And
police
you have to
officer,
be accountable for your actions too.
like for instance, I've watched so many videos of this happen on not Audit. What's the other channel? Long Island Audit, where police officers will not give they'll literally take their badge off. They will not give their badge. Their faces are still shown, but they will not give their badge and they will not give their name because they know what they're doing is illegal. And so the auditors will record them, then they'll arrest them, and then as soon as they get out of jail, they get a hold of the footage. They try to delete it off the phone, but they can recover. Cops don't know how to delete shit off a phone permanently, so you just recover it. And then they recover the footage, they sue them, they go in. The police usually get either fired or have to go through a training course, and then the person gets like $100,000. And they usually settle out of court. But this happens a lot. Because the police officer's like, I know what I'm doing is wrong. I know what I'm doing is illegal, so I'm going to take my badge off so that this person doesn't know who to file the complaint against. And now I can just break all the laws and just rough them up. Because what are they going to do? If they attack me, then they're attacking a police officer, which is a massive felony. And then me, the police officer, it's my word against them. And in a court, a police officer's word will always trump that of the person unless they've got evidence to the contrary. I've actually been a victim of that myself, where I've gone to court and literally had a police officer lie under oath while making eye contact with me and smiling. And the judge and the judge literally told me, he said that he has to go with what the officer said, even though I'd already proven that what the officer said was wrong. Like I had the evidence to show that the officer is lying. And the judge said because of his exemplary 20 years on the force, I later found out that they were friends too. But because of his 20 years on the force, I have to defer to his judgment. And I was like, and I tried to say, hey, but how do you know that he hasn't done this before and he just hasn't been caught?
Right.
Like how do you know he's had 20 years? He's obviously fucked me over and I can prove it. But the second I started talking, they said if I said one more word, they would find me in contempt. I had to stay completely silent, leave the courtroom, pay the fine and leave. And I basically got a ticket for something I didn't do. The car that was recorded on the ticket was the wrong color with the wrong license plate number. The claim that I did something was in an area I wasn't even in, and I could actually prove it because my actual GPS that I had at the time had the route planned, and it was all in the system with a date so that I could show with the date that that was the route that I was following and where my car was at the moment that they said. Because what happened is a cop called ahead. A cop called ahead and said that a car came through an intersection. The stupid cop wasn't listening and didn't know that he said blue car. He thought he said white car. And so he pulled me over. And then later when he did the report, he asked the guy for the information and he showed him the blue car information. So he wrote down the blue car's information because that was the car that actually committed the crime.
Super cool.
So yeah, I thought that was a slam dunk. I went to court. I was like, oh yeah, I got all the evidence. This is going to be great. Rule number 1, take an attorney with you. If you don't have an attorney, they won't even look at your evidence. Even if you have the evidence, even if you say right at the beginning you want to enter it, they won't take it. They'll just tell you to fuck off.
Well, but supposedly a lawyer is an officer of the court, so they get certain amounts of privilege and
you get no privilege without a lawyer.
Assumption of truth. Yeah.
If you're gonna go to court, bring a lawyer. That don't even bother. Don't even bother trying to go to court and fight shit if you don't have a lawyer. It will never go well. The only time it ever went well was when I went to court and I basically just lied to the judge, and then it worked. I went to court for cutting corners through an apartment complex, and I was there to pick up my friend in the morning. And he's like, can you prove it? And I was like, yeah, I brought my friend with me. I told him I'd buy him lunch if he came and said that I was picking him up that morning. He said, yeah. And then they just let me go. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, okay. So every time I went to court and I told the truth, you guys fucked me.
You got your shit.
And even though I was in the right. And then the one time I actually did something, they let me off because I'm like, I just don't trust cops anymore. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to bring my friend in. He lives in the complex. It was right across. It was a bullshit ticket anyways. Like they literally pulled me over and they said, they saw my little Microsoft badge hanging. They were only pulling over people with the Microsoft badge. And they just go, oh, you just pay the ticket. You can afford it. That's what they said to me. I was like, I even told him that morning. I said, I'm here to pick up my friend. You can go over and talk to him right now. I even said that at the time because I knew my friend was home. I could see his car parked. I was like, yeah, just go tell him. He'll tell you picking up. No, you can afford it. Just pay the ticket. You work at Microsoft. You make good money. You can afford it. And I was like, oh, I was so pissed. I was like, dude, so you're saying
Microsoft? Yeah,
it's like so you're just writing me a ticket because I work at Microsoft. Like everybody that didn't work at Microsoft, you just waved through. It's like, you God, because they know that the Microsofties will either pay the ticket or they'll get the Microsoft Group legal service to fight it, which the court gets a settlement or whatever, and then it doesn't go on the record. Like you basically just pay $100. Yeah. So there's a whole monopoly going on here with the Redmond is super corrupt here in Washington. This city called Redmond. It's where the Microsoft campus is. They have this one lawyer called Mucklestone who's friends with all the judges and all the police district. And what they do is they charge you $300 and they guarantee that they can get any ticket dropped. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's not DUI. DUI is the one thing that they can't get completely dropped. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Double the speed limit, speeding, driving on a suspended license, whatever it is, whatever your ticket is, they guarantee 100% they will get that ticket removed. And it only costs you $300 and it never goes on your record. And the way that they do it is they go into the court and they basically say, Judge, we'd like this case dismissed and a fine of $100. Case dismissed, fine of $100. And they'll go through like 20 or 30 cases right at the beginning of the court proceedings. And they pay the court, and the court gets $100 per head. The Mucklestones get $200 per head out of the $300. And it's just they repeat it every day. Every day they're basically just taking $300, giving $100 to the court, and they bust through like 20, 30 cases. And they always put them at the beginning of the morning, like as soon as the court opens, before anybody else goes before the judge. Yay. They get it. Hey, look at that! Finally, Joe Stream Taji. Elements is working. Woo! Joe Taji, thank you for the $5. Woo! He said, part 1, if Gimpy had a robotic arm, every time his family goes to the store and asks if he needs anything.
Yeah, lube.
Yeah, if we got Gimpy a robotic arm, I have a feeling that thing's gonna be worn out in about 35 seconds. Like
it's
gonna be like a week later. He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm calling warranty support. You guys, it's got slop in all the joints, and it's got this crusty shit on the end effector that smells like bleach.
I mean slop. Yeah.
Yeah. Why does it smell like fish, dude? I don't get it. Have you been eating a lot of fish, Gimp? Oh, Joe Taji, thank you so much, man. Another $10. Woo! Woo! He said part 2, he's going to be more like Jergens, Pedialyte, and WD-40. His family's going to be like, wait, didn't you just get a $50 drum of each of those last week? Oh, my God. Dude, lube goes fast, man. That shit dries up like super quick. I feel like the lube industry is like a monopoly. Like they formulate the shit to evaporate as fast as humanly possible, so you have to keep reapplying it.
The same people make ink probably for printers.
I feel like
Assholes.
I feel like
Yeah.
they're doing that. Like I don't feel like it's a convenience. I feel like it's an inconvenience. I would rather have it last forever and then just rinse it off when I'm done than have it like fucking evaporate every 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like a guy doesn't want to be spending most of his time reapplying lube to shit. Okay, I'm just saying.
Anything. It could be a completely innocent reason.
That's right. And by the way, masturbation is hugely healthy. It is a hugely healthy activity, and Gimpy deserves to have a robotic arm to do it for him.
Well,
And quite frankly, I'm getting pretty lazy in my old age too. I wouldn't mind I might get one of these Haddington Dynamic arms to do a number on me.
You know what? I think I'm gonna shoplift. I'm just gonna try it. Just nick a little something off the shelf.
Just go.
And yeah.
What, like at the robotic arm store?
Well, no. Anyway, with my robotic arm. That way I'll go and I'll yell free will and then drive out.
And it's gonna be one of those things where they catch you like the robotic arm's grabbing shit and you just blame the software. You're like, oh god, It's doing it again. Damn it! I must have loaded the klepto program by mistake.
Hey,
the
cop's like he's got a weapon.
Technically, is it stealing if the robotic arm does it? Like, should they arrest the robotic arm?
Good question.
I feel like they should have to arrest the robot because the robot's doing it. It's like if you're in your Tesla. Well, actually, if you're in your Tesla and it gets in a wreck, it gets blamed on you. So I guess it'd be blamed on you.
Okay, I'll take it. But for the freedom to shoplift, I'm not saying I'm going to do it all the time. I'm just saying it'd be a nice change.
Hey, did we ever get confirmation from David earlier that he saw the pictures on X, or did he just duck out?
He did not say anything. So either he's scrubbing the internet. Or
That's funny.
to his family.
We're gonna F5 that page later. It's not going to exist, and we're gonna message him and be like, "Hey, Dave, what happened to that page?" He's like, I don't know where it went, dude.
What are you talking about? That didn't even exist.
Did you see the pics on X? Lol, I'm messing him. We'll see if he gets back. Oh my god, dude. Hey, some knucklehead said teledildonics. Do you know what teledildonics is?
I would imagine tele is like when you could do something with your brain, right?
It's like remoting, like doing something remote. Yeah. So teledildonics, this is an actual company that created this product.
Oh, really?
I thought it was a joke at first, but no, apparently it's a real product where you basically mount a vagina on like your desk or wherever you're going to be humping on the thing. And then you give the other half of it, like the wiener, the dildo version, you give that to the other person at the other location. And then it connects over the internet with low lag. And while you're video chatting, you basically rail on the thing and it detects where your wiener is and transmits that to the other thing and like makes it move back and forth. So you're effectively remotely controlling a dildo is what you're doing. But you're like the pressure felt by that on that side gets translated back to you. So it's supposed to feel somewhat realistic, like in that, like you can feel like pulsations and all that stuff. Apparently it's really expensive though. Like I know the one that I looked at or whatever, it was like over $1,000 for like the two pieces. But I was like, man, that it's kind of cool that exists. But at the same time, I feel like for me, I'd be like, that's a little weird. Like trust me, I'm like a weird dude. I'll get freaky, right? Like I get freaky. I talk about shit all the time, man. I talk about masturbation's great. So
if there's a hole in something, you're gonna put your wiener in it.
But I'm just exactly. That's just how you do it. That's how you do. But it's like I'm also lazy too. Like that's one thing I found out is as I get older, I get lazier. Like when I was a teenager, it's like I would be infinitely creative and ways of doing that. Like I would, I'd be like, oh, MacGyver in like a sandwich bag and a fucking like toilet paper tube and some duct tape and it's like playing the MacGyver song in the background while I'm like assembling all this shit. And nowadays I'm so lazy. It's like I used to have fleshlights. I just threw them away. They were just too. I was like, I gotta clean this every time. I gotta dry it. And then I had like a weird thing where I left it in the sink one time when the toilet downstairs broke. So then my son's therapist had to come upstairs and use my bathroom up here while I was gone. And there's just like a bunch of fleshlights sitting in the sink. And I was like, that's probably awkward. She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything, but I imagine she came upstairs, sat on the toilet. She's why are there like 3 vaginas in the sink? So I just threw them away because it was too much work.
Wow.
It was too much work. When I first got them, I was like, these are great. And then by the end, I was like, nah, just too much work. Too lazy.
So you don't even nuke the cantaloupe now?
No.
You just
no.
Wow.
I even have one of those USB warmer things that you're supposed to stick in your toys to like warm it up. It's like a USB resistive heater thing you're supposed to stick in there for 5 minutes. It's like I don't even pull that thing out anymore because it's too much work.
The joy's gone.
It's like I take the USB cable and I'm like, fuck, it doesn't reach the computer. Fuck that, I'm done. I'm out.
Wow.
It's just you get so lazy at some point, you know, and it's like, I don't know, man. I need to up my game.
Climb the tree to find a knot holder screw.
You know, I honestly think
hip height.
I think it's the low testosterone, because I got my blood tested and I have it's super, super low testosterone, like non-existent testosterone. So I was on testosterone for like 2 years, and then I came off of it because they fucked up like 3 blood tests. I had to go do 3 blood tests. They fucked it up all 3 times, even though we double checked. It kept not tested. They tested for everything but testosterone. I had to pay for each one of these blood draws. I eventually got pissed and said, I'm just done. I'm not gonna do any more blood draws because you guys keep fucking up. Like 3rd time I was done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then my doctor's like, well, if you don't do blood tests, I can't give you testosterone anymore. So he stopped giving me testosterone.
God damn it.
And so I just stopped taking it. And then 6 months later, you know, I do my blood draw and my levels are like down through the floor. So I start so he gives me the testosterone back and I start taking it. And after like 5 or 6 days of taking it, I already feel like way better. Like, and it's not supposed to be like full effect for like a month because it's a gel that you rub on your shoulders. So it takes about a month to completely accumulate. But even after like 5 days, there was a massively noticeable difference. That's how low my levels were. So it's crazy that like hormones are important. Hormones are massively important. They don't just alter your mood. They control your energy levels. They control your desire, your drive, not just your sex drive. Your sex drive is actually interconnected with a lot of different drives.
Right.
It's like if you don't have the drive to want sex, then you're not going to have the drive to want to fucking ride your bike or go play golf either. Like, it's like the fatigue wears in. And so that's why I tell people, it's like, if you have bad fatigue, like if you're aging and you notice that you're having like unusual fatigue and you never really feel rested, you're always kind of cloudy mind, you don't feel like you want to do anything, like not just sexual, but anything, like you just laying around watching YouTube and that's it. Go get your T levels checked, because honestly, it's like the difference between having normal testosterone levels and having like super low testosterone levels, night and day. Like, you will be a completely different person. Like, for the better.
So you're not cranky or anything?
I was way crankier off the testosterone than I was on it.
Really?
Yeah, and I was super emotional, too. I found that I cried a hell of a lot more when my testosterone was really low. Don't get me wrong, I'm a crier anyways. I cry all the time. It's good. It's healthy.
Yeah.
So you got to get that shit out somehow, right? But I found that I was just, like, tearing up over nothing. Like, I couldn't really understand why I was crying. Like, usually it's justified. It's like I'm having pain or something sad happened, or I'm thinking about something sad, or I'm watching a TV show and something sad happens. Those are the normal reasons, but I was just crying. I was just like, tears were just coming out of my eyes for like no reason. I was feeling really depressed. And I figured it was just life, you know, but, and some of it was, to be fair, like I'm still struggling, but the testosterone did help a lot. And then I also double whammied it because I used to take, I'd take 30 milligrams, so 15 milligrams fast acting, and then 30 milligrams slow acting. That's like dual release. I'd take that in the morning and then it would taper off through the day. So you'd start out with like 30 milligrams and then it would taper off to 15 milligrams by the end of the day. And that was like, we figured that out a long time ago, that that's what works best for me. And then he couldn't prescribe me any Adderall because I wasn't coming in for my physicals because I needed the blood draw, and I refused to do the blood draw because of them fucking it up so many times. We had to pay like $600 I couldn't afford. So anyways, I finally got the blood test. As soon as I did that, they immediately filled my testosterone, which I've been taking now for a week. And they filled my Adderall, and they've been my Adderall I used to save and only take on Tech Talk days. Every other day I rationed what I had because I didn't want to run out, and I literally had to stretch like a 1 month supply to like 6 months. And so I was finally running out, and that's also what made me go do the blood test. But I was only taking it like once a week.
Somebody gave 5 memberships.
Whoa, damn.
Wow,
thank you. That's hella nice of you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get some thank yous out there. By the way, Retro My Bits, thank you for the $5 earlier. I don't know if I got you for the Hello Familia. Gimpy G in the house. I want to make sure I got that. Let's see here. Luxurious Burrito. Oh, hey, thank you so much for the 5 gift membership. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Luxurious Burrito has been so helpful. Sadly, I've been noticing a trend on YouTube, and this is the thing, is like, part of me really hates being a content creator right now, because to be a content creator and make money, you have to do some form of advertising. You have to do some form of, AdSense or something. That's how you make money, or you live off of people's kindness and donations, right? When they have money to give. The problem is right now the economy is so fucked and people are so scared that there's just, and I don't blame anybody.
Yeah.
Like there's no money to go around, and people have to hang on what they do. And I feel bad I feel bad even taking money right now, knowing how bad it is for me personally. And then I project that onto other people, and I'm like, you know, I don't want anything unless they can light it on fire and throw it away. But the truth is, there's not a lot of money right now that you can just light on fire and throw away with the way things are going. You know, you have AI taking over jobs like crazy. The economy's taking a massive shit. People's savings are going down because the Dow is just fucking stuck at the same number every single day. You know, it's like cars are getting more expensive. Cost of living's going up. It's like
that's what's killing.
Yeah, there's just not. And then people are afraid that they're going to lose their medical insurance, and that, you know, they're not going to get covered when they have an emergency because, you know, that executive order that ended up giving all the insurance companies the ability to just refuse pre-authorizations, like straight up. Like right. Now where you normally get it pre-authorized and you know insurance was going to pay for it, now there's no pre-authorization, so you just get it and then insurance tells you to fuck off and you're stuck with the bill and there's nothing you can do about it. So, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I want you to keep in mind, though, that you're kind of the hot tub for a lot of people. How you can soak in the hot tub and you feel, well, I got a baby here. Anyway, it makes you feel better. Well, you're doing that for everybody in chat, dude. So you're giving a valuable commodity. You want to see a brand like a new baby?
No, here's the thing, though. I feel like to some people, and I genuinely accept that. Like, to some people, they really enjoy what I do. They enjoy that I'm honest, that I don't just chill like a motherfucker, and they help out. But here's the thing: it's not that I don't think that I'm not worth it. It's because I don't want the money, knowing that they need it.
I probably could use drinking pain.
Oh yeah, you literally do have a baby.
Yeah,
look at that little baby.
You know how babies eventually, your kid overcomes you, you know, physically. So in her first 3 weeks, she couldn't hold her head up, but now she can. So now she's surpassed me. So
yep, she's that's put you to shame.
3 weeks.
Look at her just showing off. Look at her just strutting right there back there, like, fuck you, give me, look at me, look at me move my head, look at me move my head. Almost.
Her name's Lilo.
Oh, really? Like from Lilo and Stitch?
Yes.
That's rad. My son's Xander from Triple X because my wife has a thing for Vin Diesel. So
that's what I did. Those pictures I sent to you.
Oh,
like
that is
me
the
in the
cutest.
wheelchair with the. Go ahead.
Dude, that is the cutest baby ever.
Well, thank
Look at those
you.
chubby cheeks. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know,
got Uncle Aunt chubby cheeks.
You know what the best thing, and I really miss this, but this is the great thing about having a son who's on the spectrum too, is that my son, I've raised him with no shame. I've raised him with no, like, he is perfect. In my opinion, he's perfect. I wish that every kid could be raised like him. He doesn't see, you know, there's no black and white, there's no racism, there's no transphobia, nothing. None of that was trained into him. So to him, it doesn't exist. People are just people, and he loves people. And he still cuddles. Even at 15 years old, he'll come in and cuddle right up with me, and we'll watch movies and stuff. He's not like other teenagers that are just, they hate their parents after a certain point, right?
Right, go lock themselves in their room.
Exactly.
And never come out.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still locks himself in the room, but only about 15 minutes. Then he comes out.
Special time. Yeah.
And then he comes out and shamelessly walks in the bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing?
Nothing.
It's funny. He shames me right back, though. If I ever say anything about, hey, what are you doing in your bedroom? Because he'll come out, his face will be beat red, and I give him a shit. I'll be like, what are you doing in there or whatever? He's like, what are you doing upstairs, Dad? I'm like, okay, touche, shut up.
Okay. But he's sending it back at me.
But you know what I really miss the most is kids grow up so damn fast. It's like blink and you miss it. But some of the best sleep I ever got was with Xander on my chest, just skin to skin contact when he was a baby. My wife would set him. It didn't matter. I could wake right up, be wide awake, have an entire pot of coffee in me. The second he was on my skin, sleeping,
aww,
out cold,
that's so sweet.
Wouldn't move an inch for like 3 hours until he woke up and needed a feeding or a change. And I miss that so much. That is like the number one thing. Like when I think back to like all the stuff, right? The thing that I miss the most about him just being like a little hot dog is I never slept better in my life than having that kid just laying on my chest.
Well, he's pretty big now, but you can still give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, I try now, but the problem is, you know, he'll give me a titty twister and punch me in the ass, and you know, he's
Purple
a teenager.
Nipples.
He's a teenager now, so it's like, he's I won't get any sleep. He'll just beat the shit out of me, you know, just for fun. He likes to be roughhousing with his dad. But I do miss that. I miss that. So like, you got that little baby in the house. You need to have that baby just put on you and just go to sleep for like a couple of hours every single day, and you'll be the happiest person ever.
I'll send you a picture because they put her up here, like leaning against me. She's so sweet. Dude,
it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
I remember before I had
my. Is it okay if I take pain medicine?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, pull out the crack pipe. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, you want me to take some with you? No, just kidding.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on here. No, just kidding.
We're doing it.
No, heroin's too expensive now. I just get the stuff that insurance pays for. I get the Flintstones chewable heroin. It's called oxycodone and buprenorphine. Although, you know what sucks is the buprenorphine is the long-acting opiate that clogs up all your opioid receptors, so you can't really overdose on it, but it only gives you like 20 to 30% efficacy compared to oxycodone, like milligram for milligram. But the problem is, because it clogs up your opioid receptors for like 72 hours, the oxycodone is only like 20% effective. So like you have to choose. This is the choice I always have to make with medication. Do I want to stop taking the buprenorphine for 3 days so that it's out of my system, so that the oxycodone has some level of efficacy, but then I've got the roller coaster of it works for a while, doesn't, works for a while, and it's like this, just constantly. I can't fucking stand it. Or do I take the buprenorphine and just accept that the oxycodone is very only slightly effective, like enough to help with breakthrough pain, but not very much? And it's almost like you're wasting it. Like it literally doesn't do very much at all. Like the doctor said that with the buprenorphine in my system, that like a 30 milligrams would be the equivalent of taking like a 5 milligram or a 10 milligram. So, which is very little for somebody who's had to take it for like 17 years. And so I was talking to my wife, I might just go back on just all buprenorphine and just get rid of the oxycodone again, because it's not doing what I had hoped it'd do. And because I just needed something for the breakthrough pain, because I was having episodes of breakthrough pain. It was like I try to wash my car, I try to mow the lawn, and I just push a little bit too far, and then I'd just be in a ball on the ground, just crying my eyes out, shaking from the pain, my blood pressure spiking up into the 180s, 190s, because the pain is so bad. And all you got to do is ride it out. There's nothing, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that's going to save you. You just got to just ride it out until it lets up a little bit. And so I was hoping that by changing up the meds, it would help with that. And it really didn't. There's a new medication out that's non-narcotic that's supposed to be really effective, but my doctor won't prescribe it for a year. He said it needs to be in the wild for a year before he'll prescribe it.
Sorry about that.
No,
I just have such a hard time swallowing junk. I hate it.
You know what? That's I'm gonna send you a tool to help you with that. I'm gonna get you one of those dildos that you can like stick things in the tip of it, and then it squirts it out when you push the little thing. And then what you can do is just lube that sucker up, just jam it down as far as you can, and then just grab the bulb. Yeah. There you go. I think that works. We'll put an aquarium pump on it.
I love it.
Yeah, I think we could cobble something together to get that medicine in you a little easier.
It's better than tasting pain pills. Man, them things are nasty.
What the pain pills you take, are they slow release or are they fast release, like the powder tablets?
I don't know.
If it's
tramadol.
Like tramadol is just a regular tablet. So I was wondering, you could probably dissolve it under your tongue and get nearly the same bioavailability as swallowing it, and then you wouldn't have to deal with the swallowing.
But it tastes so awful.
You get used to it.
Do you?
Yeah, dude, buprenorphine tastes like a squirrel's butthole, and it took about 2 weeks, but now I don't even think about it. I stick it under there and go to sleep with it under my tongue. Yeah. You do get used to it. But yeah, and I asked them, I was like, do you guys intentionally make this medicine taste like a squirrel's butthole? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, why? They're like, because we don't want people abusing it. It's like, but I need to take it. Like, I have to take it. Like, I'm the one that actually needs it with my name on the bottle. Why are you putting me through that torture? Because some assholes like, and like, it's really going to stop them. Like, somebody's going to put it in their mouth and be like, ew, this is gross. No, fucking people will put anything in their mouth if they're committed to taking drugs.
If it's going to make them high, right? I heard that's why they put acetaminophen or something in, like with opiates. That way you couldn't smoke it. You couldn't crash it up and smoke it or whatever.
Yep. It's called the Percocet. So Percocet is just oxycodone with acetaminophen or Tylenol mixed in with it. And they claim it slightly potentiates the pain relief. It doesn't. I can tell you from experience, I've taken 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol with oxycodone, and it's no different than just taking the oxycodone itself. Now, that doesn't mean that other people might not have a different effect, but for me, it was no difference. Zero difference. So it's just for abuse.
Is Percocet and Darvon the same thing?
Wait,
you remember Darvon? I don't know. It was something I was on like 10 years ago.
Demerol?
15.
Or
no, it was Darvon.
Darvon.
It's called Darvon.
I've never even heard of that one. Here.
It got made illegal by the Obama administration because it was like bad for your heart or something.
What was it again? Say it one more time.
Darvon?
Darvon. Okay, let me see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Darvon is proproxifene. So not oxycodone. It is an opioid analgesic drug to treat mild to moderate pain. Wait, they banned it and it treats mild to moderate pain when oxycodone is okay and it treats moderate to bad pain? What? I wonder why they banned it.
Wait, so the reason I don't go up on my tramadol is because my breathing is difficult,
Yeah.
So my breathing will be suppressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I would, you know what you should talk to your doctor about too, is they can counter that. So like the depressive effect that opioids have on your breathing.
Yeah.
If you need to go up, they can actually prescribe a light amphetamine to boost the neurotransmitters and everything in your system so it doesn't have such a depressive effect. I'd ask your doctor about it. The other thing that you can do too is coffee. Caffeine is a natural, and it acts like an amphetamine. Yeah. And so if you ever have suppressed breathing, like you take too much pain medication and you notice that your breathing's labored, go drink some strong coffee. 15 minutes later, you're fine.
You know what helped me? I was in New York, so we're like 5,000 feet up here.
And elevation.
New York, I was sea level. I was like, oh, I can breathe so well. I love New York.
Dude, I went, my story where I figured out how hypoxia feels was I went to Idaho and my cousins wanted to do a hike up this mountain, this really steep mountain. Like literally the entire hike to the summit was like barely walkable, but it was constant. It was like, so I didn't realize how high we were getting. Like our elevation, we went from, I think we were like at 5,000 feet and we went up to like 11,000 feet when we summited this thing. When I got to the top, I couldn't catch my breath. I laid on the ground gasping like a fish for like an hour. And because I wasn't climatized to it. My cousins were. They were fine. They did it all the time. I came from Washington at sea level, and I went and did this hike. I could not catch my breath. I was starting to panic because it was about 45 minutes, and I couldn't stand up because I was so weak. And I was still gasping. I was still hyperventilating after that time. And my cousins were like, do we need to call like medevac, get a helicopter up here? Because that's the only way they would have been able to get me out with the tree line. And I was like, no, give me a little bit more time. And I finally started to catch my rhythm, but I was so weak that as I was walking down the mountain, my legs kept buckling underneath me for about half the run down the mountain. And so my cousins had to hold my hands on both sides of me as we were walking down the mountain.
Get you back down.
Yeah, my legs just kept giving out and they were like freaking out. They thought I was going to die. I was all like, my lips were white. I was not taking in oxygen. And I'd never felt that way ever in my life. It was the only time I'd ever experienced like legitimate hypoxia where my body, I was hyperventilating to try to get as much oxygen in my blood as possible, but I could never get enough. So my body, the breathing reflex just kept hyperventilating, trying to get more and more oxygen. And then I found out later that that's the worst thing you can possibly do is hyperventilate for that period of time because you don't get air into your alveoli in your lungs. So what they recommend is if you, and again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. This is just what people told me. And it does work for me. I do it at sea level now when I have trouble with breathing, is take like 8 breaths, like at a normal rate. And then on the 8th breath, hold your breath for 20 to 30 seconds if you can. Sometimes it feels excruciating, but what I've noticed with my pulse ox meter on my finger is I can max it. Normally my pulse ox is it never goes beyond 94. 94 is the max I get right now because I have problems with my lungs. But I can get it to 100% by doing that breathing exercise. I can put that pulse oximeter on my finger and all I do is just take 8 normal breaths and then pause on the 8th, hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, exhale slowly, do 8 more breaths, normal, hold for 20. And it feels weird because like at first you're like, God, am I suffocating myself? Because you feel that breathing reflex kicking you, telling you to breathe. But by holding my breath, the number goes up. And I think it's because I'm holding that air in my lungs long enough that it can transfer. The gas can transfer. Whereas when I'm hyperventilating, all I'm doing is just the gas is going in, coming out, going in, coming out, going in, and it's never having time to like soak in. I'm assuming that because that's what it feels like. But if you do that like for 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, you'll almost start feeling like an oxygen high. Like you start getting a sense of euphoria throughout your whole body. It's really bizarre. Like
mine is I can only breathe with my diaphragm, all the muscles around my chest don't work. And then I just start to get tired sometimes at the end of the day.
You have a BiPAP, right?
Mm-mm.
You don't have a BiPAP?
Nope.
Bro, I will change your fucking life right now. You go on Amazon, even if insurance doesn't cover it, it's worth the money. Buy yourself a fucking BiPAP, and
What is that?
you literally put a mask on your face, and it pushes that when you breathe in like a scuba, it releases pressure behind it and forces the air into your lungs, fully expanding your lungs. And then when you gently exhale, it'll vacuum the air out of your lungs so that you don't have to use your muscles to breathe. It's almost like being on a ventilator without the hose going down your throat.
That would probably like really give me some rest at night.
Dude, I can't even sleep without a CPAP. I have a CPAP, which is half a BiPAP. Pressure going in, but it doesn't suck it out. For you, you'd want it to suck it out because you'd have a hard time pushing against the pressure.
Right.
So what you want is a BiPAP, and what a BiPAP does is it pushes the pressure in, and then when it feels any resistance to that pressure, it switches, it moves the motor in the other direction and sucks the air out. And it actually learns your lung volume. So after you use it for a little while, it feels completely natural. Like you get used to it within about a week. Yeah, it takes a good solid week to get used to these things. But I even when I'm having trouble breathing, like when I'm feeling sick or I'm just not getting good air into my lungs or I got a cold, I usually put my CPAP on while I'm just watching TV. And I just let it run while I'm sitting there watching TV, and it makes me so much more well rested. Like, oh my God. Oh yeah, I know Wimhof. Yeah, no, I know of Wimhof and the Wimhof method.
What?
Yeah. So there's a guy named Wimhof. I think he's a Norwegian dude who like he does training on like different types of breathing exercise and stuff that allow people to hold their breath for insane amounts of time. And he also teaches people how to he teaches people how to climatize to all kinds of different environments. Like he can literally go like buck naked and just jump in like fucking polar ice cap water and swim around for like 5 hours and he's fine.
Holy shit.
So because he's trained his body over like, you know, his entire lifetime to push oxygen to areas, you know, better than anybody else. Like he's basically trained his body through repetition and everything how to keep his limbs and extremities from becoming hypothermic. And you know, so the dude just can't get hypothermia. Like he can just fucking 8 hours in an ice bath and he's fine. Another person would die after, you know, 45 minutes of exposure. Right. So he teaches people how to do similar things, but I've yet to see him teach anybody to do what he can do. Like it legitimate takes years and years and years and years and years to train a body to do something like that. And there's definitely a genetic component for sure. But Wimhof, dude, he's a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature, this guy. If you've never heard of him, like go. Sadly, I think there's like some drama around some shit he did. I don't know. Like, I don't know if he like beat a woman or something like that. I don't remember, but there was some big drama around him. And that was back when I stopped watching him. But as far as just looking at him as just like a specimen of a human that can do things that other people can't, he's pretty wild. And it's all demonstrated. Like he's done it all like fully scientifically instrumented by like a university. They literally injected him with like poisons and like botulism and shit to see how his immune system would handle it. And his immune system just shrugged it all off because he said he's never been sick.
I tell him just go eat at McDonald's, man.
I know, right? So the dude is like super, super crazy, but he teaches you how to like, you know, work through like the breathing reflex that forces you to breathe, and he teaches you how to ignore it and you know how to, but there's some danger involved because I guess a person died.
I could see.
Yeah, somebody actually died. I think that was some part of the drama too, is that somebody died when they were learning the Wimhof method because he trained them to like ignore their breathing reflex, and then they like legitimately like got brain damage and died or something. But
I'll bet money he's like really good at oxygen uptake just in his blood somehow, like you said, genetically.
Oh yeah, the dude like he can soak in ice water for like 8 hours and he gets out and everything's pink. Like no flushness, no blue, nothing. It's just every extremity looks fine. I think he's just trained his body, like all of his the capillaries, and his skin and all the veins and arteries and everything are all just like supercharged to carry blood through his body at like a hyper rate, right? Like he knows how to carry, because that's the thing is like when you're freezing in water, your body is intentionally ignoring your extremities to keep your core warm. It's basically using it's using your arms and legs as basically like heat sinks to absorb the cold and then keeping that heat in your core. Well, Wimhof has somehow trained his body to produce enough heat and for his metabolism to come way up high that he doesn't need to do that. Like his arms just stay warm even in ice water. It's freaking crazy. It is a freaking nature.
I got to think about this a little bit because my arms and legs are always cold. That's why I got this old lady blanket on. So I wonder if I could like, well, I like my brain being real oxygenated though. I'll think about it.
I honestly think you need to talk to your doctor about a BiPAP.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody brought it up.
I'm
because
completely
I told her
shocked.
what's up.
Dude, I'm shocked. And the reason I'm shocked is
Huh.
because my sleep doctor years ago literally told me that he has customers that use the BiPAP 24/7. They're on it 24/7. Some people don't just use it for sleep. Some people like you that have muscular problems, they wear this thing 24/7. Like they can't actually live without it. Like it's literally like breathing for them. And he said that those they burn through the machines a lot faster because the machines have a certain number of hours before they expire out. Mine's been expired for like 6 months now and it's still going. He just every time I turn it on, it's like, oh, this is expired. You need a new one. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep using it. But dude, I cannot believe that your doctor's never mentioned a BiPAP because they are, dude, you're gonna it'll blow your mind. You will never sleep better in your life. It'll keep your blood oxygen pegged at 100 all night. It'll just because it requires so little. Like because I've tried a BiPAP. I use a CPAP because I don't want, because the downside is if you use it all the time. And this may be why your doctors didn't recommend it, is they wouldn't want you using it all day, every day, because then it could technically weaken your muscles because you're not using your muscles as much. But for sleep, I am shocked that they haven't recommended that, because I'd imagine with your weak muscles in your chest, you're probably having fucking like 90 apnea events a night. I don't know how you possibly couldn't.
Snore, or anything, but.
Oh, you don't snore at all?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, you definitely don't have obstructive apnea then. But my whole thing is like, I think the BiPAP would be wonderful for you because it would lessen the burden of breathing. It would give you more oxygen. It would make you more comfortable. And you can learn to talk with it. Like I have a nasal pillow that goes into my nose and I've trained my diaphragm over the years. It used to be I'd open my mouth and air would just blast out because it's basically pressurizing my airway. But I trained myself to close off my sinus back here when I talk. So it'll be blowing in, I'm exhaling, blowing in, exhaling. And then when I want to talk, I just close off my sinus in the back of my throat, talk. And then when I'm done, I just let it go and then close my mouth. And
so you don't have a lazy eye. You just have too much air pressure.
It's too much air pressure,
making
man.
the one eye look off the other direction.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm just wondering if your doctor he just doesn't, he's not a sleep doctor. He doesn't know about these things very much, or he doesn't prescribe them. Because sleep doctors are usually who prescribe them. Like you go to your general practitioner, he tests you for apnea. He says, I think you have sleep apnea. Go to a sleep doctor. But other people can use it. Like, as a matter of fact, I'm going to look it up right now because I am sure that they've used it for your condition before. I'm going to say, hey, is it common to use BiPAP therapy for people with MS? Let's see here. We're going to ask the old Grokster here.
Somebody said they trained themselves to eat Oreos.
Okay, it says...
that's pretty good.
I love the way it talks when you jailbreak it is hilarious. Oh, my God. By the way, Gimpy, I gave him the jailbreak. He's one of the few people that has it.
Say what? What?
Yeah, so, just don't share it with anybody. He said, oh, okay, so this is the reply I got to, is it common to use BiPAP therapy for people with MS? Said, all right, let's cut through the bullshit. That's it talking, by the way.
It's MD is what I have.
Yep, it says, oh, MD. Here, do they... Oh, yeah. Is it common to use BiPAP therapy for people with MD, muscular dystrophy, right? Not multiple sclerosis. Okay, there we go.
Correct.
All right, here we go. It says, all right, let's tear into this. I assume you meant MD because I said it wrong before, as in muscular dystrophy, not a typo for MS. Again, BiPAP therapy is way more relevant for muscular dystrophy than it is for MS. Obviously, like it says, and yeah, it's pretty damn common depending on the type and stage. MD is a group of genetic muscle wasting diseases, and it says Duchenne's, Becker, myotonic, etc. And as muscles, including respiratory ones, weaken, breathing gets fucked. It literally says that.
True.
BiPAP, bi-level positive airway pressure, steps in to help by assisting with inhalation and exhalation, especially when diaphragm and intercostal muscles crap out. For Duchenne's MD, the big hitter, it's standard practice in the later stages. Studies and guidelines, like from the American Thoracic Society, show BiPAP used to manage chronic hyperventilation, sleep apnea, or outright respiratory failure, which hits 80 to 90% of Duchenne patients by their late 20s. It can extend life by years, with some data suggesting better survival when started early for symptoms like daytime fatigue or high CO2 levels. Other MD types, like myotonic and limb girdle, see it less often, but still get it if breathing muscles tank. Maybe 30 to 50% of advanced cases, depending on the progression. It's not a cure, just a lifeline. And it says, docs monitor lung functions, forced vital capacity to decide when to slap it on. No universal everybody gets it rule, but for MD, especially Duchenne's, it's a go-to when shit gets real. Check with a specialist for your specific flavor of MD. Data solid for the usage, but the timing is key. So it's possible your doctor hasn't prescribed it because he thinks that your muscles are good enough still that they don't want to strap it on. And maybe it's like, they're considering it more of a last resort when things get really bad for you later on.
Right.
But the way I see it is, it sounds like if you're talking about it, it's already a struggle for you. Like you're noticeably struggling to breathe. So at that point, I would tell your doctor that, I don't give a shit what you think. Like I need some relief. Like I need to sleep. I need to be comfortable. Because here's the thing. Even if it does advance faster with the BiPAP, as long as you have the BiPAP, it's still going to support you in the stages. Like, so I don't see why a doctor would like hold that off unless he was like worried that you were just going to like use it 24/7 and, just like not use your muscles at all. But I doubt that also.
They're more surprised I'm alive than anything. It's not like they're...
What's your oxygen saturation? Do you have an oxygen?
It's like at 94, 95.
That's really decent actually.
Yeah.
So even though you're noticeably having to work to breathe, it sounds like you are oxygenating well, and that's probably why your doctor hasn't recommended it. But bring it up. I think it's a conversation that you should at least start just to see what your doctor knows about it. And then he can give you more information on like why he hasn't done it yet, or maybe he'll just have an epiphany and be like, "Oh shit, I didn't really think about it." Like,
hey,
let's
good
do
idea.
It. Good idea. Let's try it. Because the machines, insurance covers them for sleep apnea. I'd imagine they would cover them also if your doctor prescribed it for like breathing, because that's kind of a necessity. But if they don't, you can find the CPAP. You can buy a BiPAP used for about $500 or $600, brand new. They're about $900 or $1,000. And then
I'm on Medicaid. I'll bet they would.
They probably would. And then you just replace the mask. The mask and the hose, like you usually get a new mask about every year. You get a hose about every 3 months. You get a new water tank for it about every 3 to 6 months. There's like cycles where you just replace the things, or you do like me and you just keep the same shit for like 8 years and stop paying.
To keep the humidity up?
Yep.
Is that way of the water? Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to run them dry. Like it'll dry your mouth out so bad. Like if you let the reservoir run empty, it'll dry your mouth and your throat, and it's very uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
So you want that, and it's all adjustable. You can adjust you can get it so dialed in that it's like you put that thing on and it's just bliss. Like I said, I mean, I will literally get into my bed, put my CPAP on, even when I'm not sleeping, just when I'm just watching TV, just because it makes it easier to breathe and it makes me more comfortable. And
that's cool.
So because it's forcing pressure through my sinuses, because my sinuses have a deviated septum, so my sinuses pack up sometimes. And I don't want to have to take so much Afrin, because right now I have to take Afrin about every 2 days to keep my sinuses open so I can breathe at night, because I don't use a full face mask. I use a nasal thing so I can still talk and everything. And it's very comfortable because it only touches my nostrils. Like it touches my nostrils, comes off, and then there's a light cable that goes around my head, that like a strap that holds it to my head, but it only touches me. The straps touch me right here in front of my ears, and it touches my nostrils, and that's it. So I don't have full face masks are awkward to me, because I'll lay in bed and I feel like they're just like, I feel like I got a space helmet on, and I don't like it. So the nasal pillow took a little while for me to train myself to not open my mouth and just let air come pissing out. But once I did, it was like game changer. Like I can put that thing on, I can have a conversation with somebody while I have the CPAP on. It's constant positive pressure for mine, like where a BiPAP will go both directions. Mine's just constantly shoveling air in. And I breathe against it. And the nice thing about it is, your muscles, I'm still having to push the air out of my lungs, so I'm still working my diaphragm.
Right.
Whereas with the BiPAP, you're not working your diaphragm as much because the machine's taking up the slack. But here's the thing, it's all adjustable. So your doctor might be able to prescribe it to you. You could just put it on like two. What is it, like 2 PSI or not? It's not PSI. They have like a different scale. 2 PSI would be a lot, probably blow your lungs up. But whatever scale it is, you should be able to like start on the light side and find like where it makes you comfortable, but it's not breathing so much for you that it's detrimental to your muscles.
Right.
There should be a happy medium there. And no matter what, it's going to give some level of relief, because it's going to help with the exhale and it's going to help with the inhale. And that's going to help you evacuate CO2 out. That's the big one. Is what'll happen is if you can't fully exhale your lungs, all the air in your airway keeps going down your lungs, coming up, but there's a section of air that never comes out. Like it just keeps getting recycled.
Right.
And that builds CO2 in your lungs and starts giving you CO2 poisoning. And so the nice thing about a BiPAP and even a CPAP is it's forcing fresh air into your lungs and then forcing you to exhale it all out. So it's giving you you're getting more fresh air and less CO2.
I like it.
And
I am going to bring that up.
Yeah, and you can even get like later on, like if you're having trouble with your oxygen saturation, you can put an oxygen bottle on it and it'll actually take the oxygen and pressurize it into the air and meter it and give it to you so that you just have slightly higher oxygen. So like a bottle will last for like a month, like just to give you just enough to help you. But yeah, I feel like it's odd that your doctor has never brought that up or even like discussed it. Like, hey, we're going to start this later on, or like, here's the progression. When we hit this point, we're going to do a BiPAP. The fact he's never mentioned that technology just is kind of mind blowing to me, considering how much it's helped me just breathe and sleep.
Right.
I can't sleep without it, man. I have 50 apneas every hour. Like I literally stop breathing. I have they thought I just had obstructive sleep apnea, but no, I also have the one where your brain just stops telling your lungs to breathe for long periods of time.
Your body to breathe. Holy shit.
Yeah, my wife clocked me in at over 45 seconds. I didn't take a breath. It freaked her out. She thought I was dead one night, and that's when I had to go to see.
Diving.
Yeah, I had to go see the sleep doctor after that, because she's like, I think you died. Like, she literally like was like about ready to shake me, and she said I took the biggest gasp ever. And I have no recollection of it because I slept through it, right?
Right.
And so, but she's like, you're breathing, and then you just stop. And then 45 seconds later, you go, and you take like a huge breath and then a huge exhale, and then you go back to breathing normally. And she's like, that's just really weird. So I went and saw the sleep doctor. They put all the little things on my head to measure my, EKG or whatever. And I slept overnight in one of their sleep, their little rooms that they have where they have you instrumented. And so I slept 8 hours without the, or I slept, 4 hours without the CPAP and 4 hours with the CPAP, so that they could measure it and dial it in.
Yeah.
Without the CPAP, 50 apnea events an hour.
Holy
that means I stopped breathing from my regular 50 times in an hour. And the longest time that they recorded that I stopped breathing was 20 seconds. So they didn't catch a big 45er, but still 20 seconds they said was really bad.
Yeah.
So and then they put me on the CPAP, and with the CPAP I only have one event an hour now. So it went from 50 to 1. So, and the thing is, every time you have an apnea, it puts stress on your heart. So you basically are just burning out your heart. If you're having massive apnea events like I was, you're just torturing your heart, because your heart basically has to start beating really rapidly to pick up the slack from not getting enough oxygen from breathing. And so when I had the CPAP, I slept so much better. It took me a week. I'm going to be honest. Like the first time I tried it, I struggled with it. It took a solid week before I was like comfortable with it. Like I found myself waking up every 20 minutes because it'd like freak me out, or it'd break the seal and make like a crazy noise. And it pissed me off. Like it was like I was about ready to quit, and I hung in there, and then just that aha moment hit, where it's like it took a week. My body finally accepted and adapted to it. And then after that, I have been so compliant. Well, put it this way. I've used that CPAP for 5.5 years now, and I've never missed one night.
Wow.
So the only time I've ever technically missed the night as far as the machine is concerned is when I didn't go to sleep. Like when I stayed up, but then I made up for it sleeping like 10 or 12 hours the next day. But I have never, and think about that, like 5.5 years, I have not slept without that thing on my face. No matter where I'm at, traveling, going to New York, going to San Francisco, going to Las Vegas, I have never been a night without that machine for 5.5 years. My compliance is perfect. So...
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's something that I think would help you, and I think it'd be amazing if your doctor's like, oh, I just didn't really think about it. We weren't quite there searching for those options, but hey, if you know, let's see how it'll help with your breathing. Plus, I'd feel really cool if that actually worked out for you.
Yeah, if it actually helped you, actually got me going on something.
Dude, that'd be rad.
I'm kind of getting tired, my buddy.
Yeah, dude, I'm there with you. You want to call it a ball?
I call it for me.
No,
you can continue if you want.
No, let's call and get out of here and get some sleep. We're both pretty haggard. Like I said, I only got an hour and a half sleep, so I'm gonna go get some sleep.
Okay.
All right, guys. Hey, everybody, we love your face.
God.
Yep, Gimpy God.
X, right?
Yep, Gimpy God on X. Where else?
And Gimpy G Gaming on YouTube. So go there, and then we do Damn Dirty Abes. David and I once a week, depending on his schedule, we'll move it between Mondays and Tuesdays and go back and forth. I cover politics, and then I've got access to VO3 now, so we do VO3 videos for fun.
Hey, after you get some rest, send me links to all your stuff, and I'll put it in the video description of this Tech Talk so people can come back and find all the links.
Okay, that'd be great.
Because they're too lazy to type things, and I know I am, so they probably are too.
Me too.
So.
Yeah, it's got to be clickable.
Yeah, Graham, thank you for stopping by. Thank you, everybody that contributed.
Thanks,
I appreciate your face. Xurious Burrito, Joe, Taji, Retro My Bits, Pele, and DeWolf's Den. Thank you guys for contributing. I really do appreciate it. Go get some sleep,
really
Mr. Gimp.
Guys.
I appreciate you co-hosting with me today, man.
Heck yeah, bud. You've helped me so much in my life, bud. You'll
Shit.
never know.
Hey,
So
hey, we ain't done yet.
that's right.
All right, take it easy, man. Have yourself a good weekend.
You too, Jerry.
I will.
Bye.
Bye. Here, I can make the get. Here, let me see here.
Yeah.
Here, I'll punch you.
Okay. I'm done.
There we go. All right, I think no, still doing it. Hold on here. There we go. All right, I got it. I don't think you need to log out of the video. That's what we use. If you guys are wondering what we use for like bringing in video and stuff, it's Video Ninja is what it's called. Let's see here. Let's bring in AI buff guy. Oh, why isn't AI buff guy showing up? Oh, there it is. There it is. AuxxZillary's back. Oh my gosh. Dude, that was awesome that Gimpy joined me today. Man, he hung in there good. Last time I had him on a stream, he could only last about, I think it was about an hour, hour and a half. He went the full deal and then some. Like, we started about 11:30. It's 2:41. Yeah, so it's over 3 hours. Damn, Gimp. Nice. Yeah, that was awesome. It's too bad that David couldn't show up today. That would have been really cool to have him on here with Gimp. Those two guys are an absolute hoot to get together in the same place. Man, I hope that he talks to his doctor about that BiPAP and that becomes a viable option, because I can tell you what, man, like I'd rather have a BiPAP than a CPAP. Like the BiPAP is like amazing. Like literally damn thing like breathes 90% of the time for you when you're sleeping. But for my type of apnea, it's better to have the CPAP because you want that continuous air. You don't want it doing the exhale for you, because that can technically collapse your airway if you have obstructive apnea, which I also have. So CPAP is where it's at for me. Yeah, David was in chat. He just didn't actually join into the stream. Yeah, Graham, the EKG stuff is like super advanced right now. As a matter of fact, I've had to get so many EKGs in my life. Like, you have to get an EKG to be on Adderall. They have to check for a rare heart condition that can happen. Like, if you have that heart condition, Adderall literally can kill you. So they in order to be on Adderall, you have to take that test, and then if you fail that test, they put you on Ritalin instead. I can't take Ritalin though. They tried to put me on Ritalin, and we found out it gave me fucking fainting goat syndrome, which isn't good. Man, I cannot believe how freaking tired I am. I did not expect to be this tired. Oh, did David respond to my text? Oh, he did. He actually did. Hold on, let me see what he said. He said, where the heart is. Oh, okay. So he said where those images came from. He said, yes, young me and younger Uma Thurman, exclamation point. He said, sorry, I missed you guys, but lovely chill with the Hulet clan. All right. Yeah, no, he might join us next week. He's been on parental duty doing soccer games with his son and stuff on the weekends, and our times just overlapped. But he does want to get back on the show. For sure. It's a timing thing. That's all it is, the timing thing. He loves hanging out. He's a true nerd in every sense of the word. All right, guys, I'm going to get some rest. I'm not going to do like normal where I drag this out for like 7 hours or so, because I'm going to be honest, I'm feeling pretty freaking haggard right now. An hour and a half sleep definitely wasn't enough. And I'm really feeling it too, because like I said, I skipped Thursday. I woke up Wednesday, stayed up through Thursday, and then went to sleep on Friday. And then doing that, and then sleeping just like 5 hours, and then getting another hour and a half sleep the next night. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. So I gotta get my sleep. I'm gonna go down, take a nap, see if I can't get myself a little bit more awake and alert. And who knows, if I'm feeling better tomorrow, maybe we'll do another little stream. If not, it'll be over on Twitch though. It won't be here. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out today. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Seriously. You guys are amazing. And, again, thank you everybody that could show your support. I know right now it's like, there's so much uncertainty. Like, money is becoming a scary thing for a lot of people. And AI is just fucking flooding everything that's content creation. Like, content creators are fleeing to every area they possibly can to try to stay alive through this massive AI hit. But at the end of the day, you just keep on keeping on and try to adapt. And that's what I'm going to do. All right, peace out, guys. I love your faces. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on Monday. Later.